Ladies love the skin.
Ow.
Bring it a little bit closer. The good skin, that is. That's why having a proper skincare routine is very important, and you need to feel it to each. The process is so easy, just 4 steps. You got your daily face wash. That's gonna clean your face up nice and right. You got your exfoliator scrub. That's gonna open up your pores. You got your AM moisturizer with the SPM 20, which is gonna protect you from the sun. You also got your PM moisturizer, which is gonna make sure your skin is protected throughout the night. Tige has tons of reviews from dedicated customers across the world. I know I said a lot, but it's okay, because guess what? It comes with an instruction card to explain to you in detail what to do morning and night.
And because Tige is sponsoring this video, they're offering you an amazing deal. Just click the first link in the description to get 30% off your first skincare system and a free gift. Plus, as a member, you'll also get 20% off for life. By the way, both gifts you're choosing from are a $20 value and a complete game changer. A silicone body scrubber or a nail and face grooming kit. Personally, I prefer the silicone body scrubber. I don't like using towels when I travel, so the body scrubber is an excellent way to open up the pores and get the body clean. So don't wait any longer. Click the first link in the description to start your skincare journey today.
What's going on, family? I'm Lapeef, and I'm here to show you my daily routine using Assured Man King on top. Assured Man presents to you a men's 4-piece beard, hair, and body grooming kit that stimulates your hair follicles, strengthens the follicle wall, softens, hydrates, and controls your hair. The system doubles as a hair, face, and body care application. The first thing you want to do is you want to make sure your beard is clean using a beard, face, and body cleanser. It also has hemp oil, omega-3, omega-6, and omega-9. Steaming is great for guys with a coarser beard texture, as the extra moisture softens and smooths the hair shaft, making it easier for combing and brushing and styling. Now we want to use the beard and hair oil. The beard and hair oil is for hydrating your beard to help soften and tame the thick hairs. It acts as a way of conditioning the hair without drying it out, giving it a sleek, groomed look. It's also aimed at taming flyaways to keep your style in line. Now we want to use the beard growth balm. Our beard balm ingredients nourish your beard so that it stays conditioned, and we use only natural fixed oils that will nourish the beard hair. Keeping your beard moisturized will help do away with dryness by conditioning the beard hairs and the skin. Our beard balm helps reduce breakage and tangles. Now we want to grab our pick. Pick out the beard to give it that full look. After you get all the hair even, you want to take your brush and brush down all the loose hairs. Before I go to bed, I use the beard, face, and body moisturizer lotion. Using this lotion helps moisturize and conditions the beard hairs, leaving the hair soft and tangle-free. It also helps with grooming and with maintenance, and also an easy comb for the morning. What are you waiting for? It's time for you to get Assured today.
You know, it's so interesting. We're talking about this, and I had a conversation with a few people recently that I met off Clubhouse that we've have a long-standing good friendship, and they were telling me that they were out at brunch, and they noticed that there are a lot more women outside at brunch and all these other things than there are men, right? And she's out in LA, and she gave me that example. And then I was talking to one dude, and he went to like a festival with a girl that he was talking to, and it was just like 85% women, 82% women, and the other small percentage is men, right? So there are a lot more women outside in a lot of these different places, and I've seen it too, because I've been outside the last few weeks on and off, and I've seen way more women outside at brunch and all these places than men. It's like the numbers are not even close. It's literally like 85-90%, and the other small percentages are like dudes who show up. You know what I'm saying? A lot more women are outside. So you can't say, guys can't say that the women are not outside or they're not visible. Like, where are you? They're literally in all the spots that I be going out, and I don't even be going out like that. And I think the reason why a lot of the women are trending towards dating app because the dudes are just not out there, outside of some of these spots. You know what I'm saying? Depending on what city you're in, depending on what the venue is. But I think for the most part, a lot of women are participating in being in certain spaces in larger numbers, or congregating in larger numbers than there are men in those spaces.
Hank.
So did I go?
Okay, I wanted to ask Hank something. How you figure that all the women on there faking and not the men, ain't none of the men on there faking either? Why do you go left like that towards women?
Say that about Hank.
Yeah, y'all don't listen, do y'all?
No,
I sit there and told you.
Said.
If you heard what I said, then you heard me sit there and say the men use it to fuck on you. They not looking for nothing.
But that's not what you started out with. You started out with that's another way for women to lie and do something else to men. And
I described the women first because
I'm not offended. I don't use dating apps, but I just was wondering.
Okay, but I'm explaining to you. Okay. I go women first, ladies first, and then the men second. So I describe the women what they do on the shit, and then I describe secondly what the men do on the shit. Don't worry, I didn't leave nobody out.
How do you know if you don't be on dating apps though? That's what you heard. I'm talking about him. Like he you saying like or something. Is that what you heard, or you not speaking?
Yeah. That's what I heard. And my buddies use it for. They brag about it. They talk about it. And I said, I don't blame them. Do what you got to do. If that's what's going to help you get some ass, get you some ass.
But not everybody's looking to slut us women out. Some people have potential to try to look like for people because they're at home.
Yeah, I know they are until they can get them cheeks. And then they done with your ass.
Everybody eventually wants some cheeks at the end.
Okay, that's what they doing it for. And that's why they going back to the app. They realized it wasn't nothing serious. Go ahead.
Doesn't that make you villainous to the women that are looking for relationships on the apps? I'm just curious. Or do you automatically?
You may be, but he may look like a villain, but you a fool for using it. Think you're gonna find something serious on that shit.
Okay, I understand now. That's why I ask questions. Okay. So you feel like she not deserving because she's stupid enough to jump on the app?
Look, I don't think anybody should. I think those apps should be banned out of style, out of date, because it's a waste of time to me, in my opinion. Yeah. I believe, like I said, the old-fashioned way. I also said this.
Oh yeah, me too.
Outside and have a conversation.
It's actually worked for some people, though. So
well, congratulations to them. But I bet you most of them had bad stories. I bet you more bad stories than good stories. I promise you that.
I do know, because I know that's how Tatiana Ali, I know you guys know from First Print, that's how she met her husband on a dating app.
Rich people dating apps are not the same.
Well, it was on True. What's the Harmony one? It was on that one.
eHarmony.
She met him on eHarmony, and so But what I was going to say to you is, and two, I think that what I have learned about dating apps too, I've met some great people on dating apps. It may not be a love connection. I may not like you, but it's a good networking thing too. I'm gonna tell you, my son got an intern, a great intern from a dating app. I'm doing that on a dating app. So you can use it if it doesn't end up being a love connection and you guys vibe and then you end up talking about different things. You have a cool relationship. Sometimes people be blocking their blessings just thinking about sex all the time, thinking about what this person can do. And maybe God put that person in your life for something totally different, So sometimes it's just, hey, I got this guy. I see, it didn't work out, but then you learn something else about them. You learn something from them. Maybe that's the reason why that person came into your life.
Jesus, I can't believe it, Jesus.
All right, I'm
just giving you how my life has been blessed through dating apps.
All right, let me get Viz, and I know he called in. Go ahead, Viz.
How is that delusion if that's happened to me? Y'all be crazy.
No, it's because when they against something, they are strongly
it's special people.
There is no low learners. There's a good side to it.
Hey man, shout out to Luther Vandross. He said it best. One night. Oh, that's all they're looking for. Huh?
It's go time. What's going on, family? Welcome to King Talk. We're going through the crew. We got Mr. Shannon Rawls, Marcus White, Nelson, Trey Smooth, Kenny P, Cloud Jones, B. Madden, Biz, Hink, me, myself, Lapeef JR. Welcome to King Talk. What's going on, family? What's going on? How y'all doing?
Blessed and highly favored, JR. How y'all been?
What's going on?
What up? What up?
Another day in the paradise. Another day in the paradise. Good to see you. Something going on right in there. I'm going to get the housekeeping out the way. Shout out to the sponsor, T. Hanley. Uncomplicated skincare for men. 30% off along with a free gift. And if you become a member, you get 20% off for life. So make sure you guys go ahead and click that link. If all my bald hair brothers, the Teej works for the head as well. So make sure you guys cop that Teej, man. Make sure we got smooth skin all around. Also, make sure you guys cop that Assured Men King on top. This is for your beard. So if you want to get your beard game right, get it healthy, soft, and moisturized, this is the way to go. Also, Assured Man is good for skin. So whatever residue you have left over, feel free to just rub it on the skin. It's the total package right here.
Pause.
Okay. Can you explain to Brother Marcus what exactly did I say? I was carefully trying to make sure that I didn't utter such words. So
whatever residue you have left on the skin, just rub it on in.
The total package. Hey, yo.
The total package.
No Diddy. No doubt.
I was trying to let him live because he was doing the advertisement, but I caught quite a few in there, brother.
No. Okay. You'll see where you guys, brothers' minds be going, man. Y'all just be all over the place, man. Let's keep it PG, y'all. Let's keep it PG.
Hey, I'll tell y'all though that, but that Assured Man, that stuff was really good. I got some on my beard right now. Lapeef, thanks for looking out, man. That stuff is phenomenal.
No problem. What's wrong, Cloud Jones?
Chilling, man. Trying to get my camera set up right real quick.
Oh, okay.
Give me a minute.
Okay, I thought B Madden said something. I'm gonna say, man, y'all trolling today, bro. All right, what's up, Biz? What's going on?
Man, chilling. Life is good.
Okay. I'm feeling good, man. I said Hink was causing havoc on the Sunday show as usual.
Say it one more time.
I said Hink was causing havoc on the Sunday show.
Hey, that's what Hink do, man.
Hey, if Viz is on the show with Hink, man, you just gonna hear Viz laughing the whole entire time, man. Hink is hilarious, man. Having a meeting or something.
Hink been zero tolerance for the last few months, man. I see it.
Yeah.
Hey, shit, we need it.
Give me 1 second. Let me see what we got in the chat. Shout out to the chat, man. All my Green Gangers in the chat. You want to become a part of Green Gang, click that link that's in the description. We got Daniel Berry Sports, BZ, Only Baby Zaddy, Angela Swift, Erica. Cloud is in the chat as usual. Cloud, I thought you had no access to the chat, but I guess you're going to find a way, brother. You're going to find a way. Chuda Fat was Smooth. That's Trev. He is also in the chat as well. There go Cloud back. AP Accountability Partners in there. Joe Lee. Shout out to everybody, man. Everybody that's tuning in. Happy Tuesday. That's right. Happy Tuesday. This is Chicago's Realest. Favorite day of the week, man. Favorite day of the week. All right. We're going to go ahead and get the show started momentarily. What's going on, Brother Shan? Marcus, you always eating, man.
They came back from Sam's Club with the kids' fruit snacks. I'm smashing. I'm like a little kid in the house.
So you got to box for yourself, huh?
It's that Sam's Club box, like 150 in there. I'm smashing this shit. I ain't gonna lie.
Okay. All right. Give me 1 second. Hold it down for 1 minute. Hold it down for 1 minute.
Everybody got real quiet too. What is that? A fruit roll up?
Fruit by the foot. It's a confectionery treat. Hold on. It's a confectionery treat in long strip form.
Pause. My man said fruit by the foot.
Confectionery treat in long string form.
Marcus, you got to eat that in slices. To gain back some kind of
pause, bro.
Right.
Yeah, pause, bro. Pause, bro.
You got to tear it off, bro, like some tape, because any other way
you can't be doing
problem.
You can't be doing what you're doing, bro. You just calling out pauses, bro, and then you doing that, man. What we doing out here?
Nigga, so I got fruit by the foot.
He said, "Fuck them kids. They ain't getting them treats."
Eat all the kids' treats.
All the snacks, man.
All the kids' snacks.
We're gonna go ahead and get this show started again. Hit that like button. Also, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Appreciate everybody for tuning in to King Talk. Let's get into our first topic of the night. First topic, which is men who call women masculine. Let me go ahead and play this clip.
We hear like a woman being called masculine for being successful, for being more of a leader, for being. You always hear a woman called masculine for unhealthy things. Yeah. And I think that is honestly a reflection of the man saying it. This is not me blanketing all men. I think the man that calls a woman masculine for all bad reasons doesn't have a healthy understanding of what masculinity is. Because a man that has a healthy understanding of his own masculinity is not threatened by a woman that's doing well in life. Right? I don't validate me being a man by what the woman across from me make. Now, if you're talking about someone who's hard to talk to, hard to tell something, disagreeable, much more assertive, those are personality traits. That has nothing to do with being masculine. That has nothing to do with feminine. Like, and again, this is why I'm saying, like, I think some men misunderstand what it actually means to be masculine. So if you coming across men who are just overall calling your success and your pursuit of success masculine, I think that might be a clear sign that that's not the type of man that you really want to invest in. You feel me?
All right, let's go ahead and get into it. Men who call women masculine. Men who call women masculine. I'm going to go ahead and start with you first, Brother Trev. Do you agree with what was said? What were your thoughts, man? What was coming through?
Nah, I can't really rock with homie on this one at all. I feel like sometimes people just don't talk to enough women to really understand what's going on. That just seemed crazy. Like it came off as a bit arrogant because he said that men who would describe women as masculine don't understand women. I mean, listen, I was just talking to a sister this week, right? And she told me, hey, you know what? She told me she was having problems with dating. You know why she was having problems with dating? She said, you know, she's really trying to get hers right now. And she said, I have to continue to tap into my masculine energy. And sometimes it's just tough to turn that off. And it's a thing. A lot of women who are doing their thing don't know how to turn it off because sometimes they have charge at work. It's just an aggression that you have to have. And when they get home sometimes it just spills over their personal lives. And that is absolutely true. There are women who will behave masculine and it's a turnoff to men because men are attracted to femininity, right? And you can't really down the dudes who just aren't attracted to masculine energy, right? That's come on, man. That's what we're supposed to be attracted to, femininity. And you can't say that women don't do that. They really do. I have viewed women, and I don't necessarily call women masculine, right? But I definitely notice it when women are behaving masculine. I'm like, ugh, yeah, that ain't it. There are some women there's so many things. I see women leading with their shoulders rather than their hips. That's masculine, right? And nobody even Like, come on, man. We acting like we don't see this happening. This is happening right in front of our faces, right? Where women will come up to dudes and threaten them, pointing fingers and talking like we won't slap. Never mind. But you know what I'm talking about. Like, women do this all the time. Women disrespect men and act like we can't crush them. That happens sometimes. Women really behave like that. And I feel like our society has made it just a bit too easy to where women don't really understand what this is, right? But that's really a thing. I can't believe he completely missed the mark with that one, man. That's just, yeah, I'll let it go for now. I'm gonna let some of the other brothers get busy with it. But yeah, he completely missed the mark with this one, in my opinion.
I want to ask the panel a question. Who on the panel comes from a single parent household?
I do.
Okay.
I was widowed, but yeah, for the majority of my life.
Okay. So everybody else had two parents? Okay.
No.
So okay, you had single parent household too, Hank?
Yeah.
Okay. So for the three gentlemen that came from a single parent household, would you say that your mother was masculine?
Absolutely not.
She had to take on some of those characteristics, which made it odd, and that's where signals got crossed. Because my mom, as much as I love her, there was a point where she started blaming me for the things my father did and comparing me to him with every problem. And then there was abuse. And it took time because a woman can't handle that type of baggage. As for helping a young man going from adolescence into teenhood into adulthood, you'll find that, in my opinion, from what I saw, thinking back through my therapy, my dad was very abusive. My mom's like a little 5'3" lady. My dad's like 6'5", he had a nasty attitude and went in the military, and it got like quantified. So you have a broken woman who shouldn't be raising a boy after a certain time, because nurturing stops. It never really stops for a mom because she always thinks it's your child. But there's a passage that's supposed to, you go to your father, you learn your fundamentals and things like that. That's why, like me growing up in trauma, it was bad. And I still hold some traits, like certain things trigger me, and I've been working on it, as for like counting it away and catching myself within it, and then looking for conflict resolution. But to just make it quick, a woman should never be in a place where she has to raise a boy going into a man, because it's not going to work out. That's not her job. That's not her calling. That's not a woman's nature.
Go ahead, Mark. You want to say something?
No, so my mom she's extremely feminine, but when my father died, some women like need men, I believe, and she kind of one of those women. So it kind of was a free fall, like you do whatever you want to do, you know what I'm saying? Because there's not going to be no structure, because I needed the man to provide the structure for me, so I'm not going to provide it for the kid. But and any complaints I got, it wouldn't be that. It definitely wouldn't be that.
If you guys, I want to add to it.
I mean, I really don't think that the characteristics that dude was naming off necessarily means that a woman is masculine. If she got her own house or something like that, or if she's a leader in the workplace, I don't think that those necessarily mean that the woman is masculine. Now, as Trev was speaking, if a woman is trying to go toe to toe with a man, or their mannerisms, the way that they carry themselves, that's being masculine. But going about life, doing what you got to do, either you're a go-getter or you're gonna be more passive. I don't think that necessarily means that woman is masculine. Now, as far as in my scenario that I had, My mother raised me, my brother and sister. I'm the oldest. I'm the eldest, and we didn't have the greatest relationship. Just because I was primarily there to watch my brother and sister as she, did what she had to do to take care of us. So my rebellious state then played a part, but even then, I wouldn't even consider her to be masculine. Where I learned that from was from me being in sports, from her keeping us in church, being around men that taught us how to be men. So, taught me how to be be a man. So I don't necessarily think that I wouldn't even put her in that category as being masculine. Was she tough? Hell yeah, absolutely. But that's how she was raised.
Vince, I got a question for you. Did you consider the men in church like extremely masculine? I kind of had a problem with it. Like me,
I felt that they were traditional men.
Okay.
Okay. Hank.
So your question was actually about, did we feel like our mothers was masculine? Is that what the question was? Are we?
Yeah.
Commenting on what?
I asked that, and I know you was the last one to kind of respond on it, but you did admit, I asked you if your mother was masculine, since you came from a single parent household, and then feel free to continue to add on with the topic.
Okay. Yeah, she had her moments where she was doing that, but then when we got to a certain age, that shit didn't play well anymore for us, for me and my brother. So then she started calling my uncle, and he was the one that had to be the one who beat us. That's what they was, some goddamn beatings, or discipline us in that type of way. But as far as the video, yeah, I mean, look, I think most guys know when we see a masculine chick, like I said, especially some of those who had a mother who took on that type of role, or maybe your aunt, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes your grandmother at times, when your granddaddy passed, and all of a sudden she had to pretty much take over that role at times, dealing with the grandbabies and the grandkids, you know what I'm saying? So, but when you see that for me, it's a turnoff. It's a definitely turn off, man. Another thing I think is masculine, when a chick calls herself a boss bitch, yeah. To me, you masculine as hell.
Yeah.
You mad dick. So,
all right, I'm gonna go to you, B. Madden. What are your thoughts about it, sir? Discussing men who call women masculine.
Yeah, so I would say based off of the video, I agree mostly with what he said personally. Um, I've never been in situations where I've had to call a woman masculine, or she was living in her masculine nature. I think pretty much, across the board, I would say for the panel, we've all kind of seen some behaviors of that, some, examples of that behavior at one point or another. But I've never called it out. And when it comes to women being successful, in the workplace, successful in their careers, doing well in life, I know plenty of extremely feminine women who own their own houses and own businesses, or are doing really well in their corporate jobs and are bringing in good money as well too. But they're extremely feminine, when it comes to their relationships, when it comes to the men they deal with. But I also see other women who, are leaders in the workplace, who, are people managers. Like they have to manage, a whole subset of people. Like, they have to be responsible for a whole HR department or a whole accounting department, whatever it is. They have certain leadership qualities. They have certain things about them that, they take action and they lead and that type of stuff just naturally, because that's what's asked of them and they also have to, they compete against men in the workplace to get the promotions and stuff that they do. But for me personally, when I run into them, I don't have that issue. When I meet them, I guess the level of masculinity that I carry when I run into those women, they kind of get in line. They kind of get in that place like, okay, I can be soft now because he's here. They might have to run around and be in some sort of male or masculine type energy because they're by themselves. So they have to look out for themselves all the time. They have to carry their groceries in. They have to move furniture around. They have to do things. They have to take the trash out. They have to do certain things that traditionally men might do for them. But since they're alone, they have to take on all the things. But when they do have that man around, or when they're dating somebody, they are elated to relinquish that type of responsibilities and those type of this is that type of energy. They want to release it, especially when they feel like they're around somebody that makes them feel safe, make them feel at home, makes them feel like they're covered, and makes them feel like they can live in all of their femininity. So that's what I've experienced.
So be mad, and I'm not speaking about anything sexually, but you have had conversations and relationships, interacted with a lot of women. And out of all the women, you never had a woman try you. And even if she had the degree, she was successful, you never experienced any negative masculine energy towards you.
Well, what it is, I've had women that didn't know me, and they try to joke and they try things because they're used to men folding, and then they realize they run into the wrong one, and it's like, nah, that shit ain't funny, or we're not going for that. And then I turn around and check them real quick if I have to, just depending on the situation. But I mean, I've seen them do it to other men. I mean, there's some brothers I've seen chicks date, and they're kind of sitting back real passive, or they're just letting them kind of treat them any kind of way, or like, man, she's talking to me crazy. I'm like, nigga, you putting up with it? Brother, that's on you. Like, where your nuts at? You gotta let your nuts hang. You gotta stand your ground, and you gotta understand, like, who's wearing the pants, who's running the situation. I don't care who's bringing in more money a year. I don't care who's paying more in the bills. I don't give a damn. It's my shit. I'm running this shit. And you gotta have that kind of attitude. You gotta have that kind of mindset. That's gotta ooze through you. If that don't ooze through you, you might be in a different kind of situation. But that's me. But I know some men that, those type of women work well for them. And that kind of energy, that dynamic works well for them. I mean, whatever's for you is for you at the end of the day. But that shit ain't for me. I know that.
Something real quick to piggyback off of what he just said. Yeah, I don't know if the other guys on the panel have been experiencing this, but I'll say within the last 7-8 years, something like that, I've come across women that would try to, dap me up and be like, no, I don't dap up women. I'll give you a handshake, I'll give you a hug, but dapping me up, no, I don't dap up women. So yeah, I feel like they're only doing that because somebody is dapping them up back. It's like, now that's some masculine shit. But
there's only studs, my brother. Them the ones that try to like strong on me. That's the only ones that ever dap me up with the rough hands.
No, I've had full-blown, legit feminine women of all races, legit, walk up to me and try to dap me up. I work in the service industry, service-based industry, so I come across a lot of people, and hey, good shoot today, and they'll try and dap me up, and they'll be like, no, I don't dap up women.
or are they more so like acting like, oh, you the homie, so I can dap you up because you the homie? I'm not interested in you, or I'm not trying to be with you or date you. So are they trying to, what's good, bro? Is that what they trying to do?
It'll be
that's
more
just weird to me.
It'll be more on like a business casual type of. It wouldn't be like a woman that's interested in me. It would be, you know, strictly just business, casual type of deal. You know, like I said, we're wrapping up the day or something. Hey, man, good job today, and they'll try and dap me up and be like, no, I don't dap up women.
Okay, I want to get to some of the other fellas. Let me just get this. AP accountability partner says Angela. She asked this question. Can one of the guys answer Angela? Do men want a woman who gets into the grind, or do they prefer soft and overly feminine?
What do you mean by gets in the grind? What do you mean?
Like,
do it.
Who said that those two things are like mutually? Who said those two things are exclusive of one another?
That's what she said. I need to know if men really want a female that gets down and dirty, or is super feminine and soft as fire.
Super feminine and soft.
Take the soft girl. Give me the soft girl. Give me the soft girl. I'm strong enough for both feminine.
I'm rough. I'm hard.
What does she mean when she say down and dirty?
Yeah.
Yeah, you'd have to clarify that.
I would think.
Y'all know exactly what you need.
What if it's what I'm thinking? Fuck, give me that down and dirty chick.
Hey, well, that might not have been what she was talking about. It could have been. Yeah, I think you got to clear that up.
Yeah. If she talking about that chick that wears a hard hat and steel-toed boots, no, hell no, I don't want that heifer.
When I read it, I'm thinking she mean like a woman that's into her bag, that's into her career.
Okay.
Listen, we'll take a woman who's into her career. So we don't want women to just be completely docile and a deadbeat, right? If you don't want to, listen, you can work, you can be career driven and everything, as long as you know how to turn it off, right? Don't come at me like that. That's the whole thing. As long as when I see you're soft and feminine, men aren't necessarily intimidated by just because you're doing well in life. Like if a woman beside me is doing well, I'm going to promote you. I'm going to propel you. I'm going to elevate you as much as I can, pour into you so you can do even better, right? Because it only makes my life easier, right? If that's what we're going to do. But, and that has to be what you want to do. I'm not going to make you do that either. Whatever it is that you want to do, if it works within what I got going on, I have no issues with it. But being femininity is not negotiable. Whatever you do at work, whatever you do in life, all of that is cool. It doesn't really matter how you handle that. Men are only concerned in how you handle us as an individual.
She clarified, I mean down and dirty, like I do everything for you, sir, not you hate in general, but for the man in my life.
I think you could be both of those.
What does that mean?
Either. What does do everything mean? That's even worse. That's even worse.
Make no sense.
What does I do everything? Just be specific. Don't be bashful.
Sorry, I'm multitasking.
I like a capable woman. I like a capable woman.
Say it again, Cloud. You like what type of woman?
I said I like a capable woman. Like, you know, if a woman is supposed to be a helpmeet, I don't want like a woman that's not capable of doing anything. I think a lot of times like what he was saying in the video makes a little bit of sense to me, because I think a lot of men actually do look at capable women as masculine. So they see a woman that's able to get money or able to be in a leadership role, and they go, oh, that's a masculine woman. But for me, I find that a woman can still be very feminine and still be in those roles and still be capable of handling those scenarios. I think masculine women are women who more so get their core of how they move and how they function from a man. It's almost as if they've suppressed their femininity to imitate a man, and you can almost always notice it. Like it's in their mannerisms, it's how they move their body, how they move their hands, how they talk. You see it in New York a lot. For example, I was watching one of these dating shows that they have on YouTube, and there was this tall kid. This girl comes up to him, and she has like this, like, I don't know, a lot of New York girls have like this comedian type of swag where they think they're like Red Fox or something. And they're like, yo, son, like, yo, what's up? You not feeling me? Like,
you heard?
And it's
you
like,
heard, son?
You heard? So the girl is talking to dude like this, and dude is just looking at her like completely like disgusted, you know what I mean? And she like thinks that she's being quirky and funny. And you could clearly see all her mannerisms, like she just wasn't getting it, but she looks feminine. but it's just everything in her soul just was like a dude. So it was like, I think that's really what it is. I think we don't like looking at a woman and seeing a dude. You know what I mean? Like if you're talking to me and I'm hearing a dude, and if you're walking and I'm seeing a dude, and if your attitude, everything about you is like, yo, that's a dude, then it's like, nah, that's the turn off. But I don't think it's the achievements and the accomplishments and the ability to, you know, to achieve. I don't think that has anything to do with being masculine or feminine. At the same time, though, I also do believe that there's a degree, like there's a spectrum of masculinity and femininity that all people have. And I think really another part of what he was saying in the video is kind of true, that a lot of times when we're talking about masculinity and women, we're talking about negative masculine traits, right? Because like, for example, like if you have a woman who's logical, you're not going to have a problem with that, because logicalness, like being logical, is not really a thing that you would dislike. But if you got a woman that's arrogant, I mean, we don't like that trait in men either. So I think a lot of times too, I find that women will adopt the traits that the negative masculine traits, because I think to them those negative masculine traits seem to be the source of masculine power. So when they're imitating men, those are the traits that they're imitating, and so we're seeing them reflected back at us. And like, I don't like that, you know, like you're arrogant. Like we don't like it in dudes either, but in a woman it's even worse, because it's like, I'm not expecting this arrogance from you. Like, you know, I'm expecting a more gentle soul, you know, more open-minded. I'm getting arrogance, you know. So I think that's kind of what it is for me.
Is arrogance a masculine trait though?
I don't think arrogance is a masculine trait. I think arrogance is, all right, let me rephrase. I don't think arrogance is a masculine trait in a sense of man, woman, but I think the idea of arrogance itself is like a masculine word, you know? So it's like if a woman is this, so arrogance itself is kind of like masculine. So if a woman is being arrogant, it may seem as though she's being masculine, because arrogance itself seems to be a masculine thing, but it's not really. So it's one of those in and out things. It's really hard to fully grasp around it.
I think it's interesting. Like Clout, you mentioned, you know, women, you know, imitating men and imitating those negative masculine traits and whatnot. I mean, at the end of the day, like they're acting. They're doing what they think is cool. They're doing what they mimicking and seeing. Like at the end of the day, like we live this shit. This is who we are. You know what I'm saying? It's coursing through our veins, the testosterone. Like we're built to be this. And
Exactly.
honestly, I know for me, I'm sure a couple of the guys on the panel can agree, like I don't attract anybody that's coming with some other shit like that. Like you're not coming into my universe, into my world, if you trying to be like me or act like me. Like it's a double negative. Like it doesn't go. Like there's got to be balance in the universe. So if I'm a hyper masculine man, like you got to be a super feminine woman. Or if you're not naturally a super feminine woman, you're gonna get super feminine if you're around my ass. Because that's just
that's what I mean by the spectrum.
That's what I'm gonna That's what I'm gonna pull out of you at the end of the day. Like
that's what I mean by the spectrum.
At the end of the day, I set the pace. I'm gonna lead. So you can mimic and try shit, but at the end of the day, I'm gonna lead forward, and you have no choice but to follow or get the fuck on. So.
Well, yeah, that's obvious if you're dealing with your woman, right? I mean, that's the woman that you're choosing to deal with. But we're just talking about women in general, right? Because the question is about, are some women masculine, right? And it's like, well, if you're looking out in the world, there are some women, and you said a lot of them are acting, but the thing is this, right? If you're acting and you've been acting long enough, you might start believing your own movie, right? So there's a lot of women walking around there genuinely believing that they're just like us. Like, and a lot of them don't even have a template of what a feminine woman looks like, especially in certain communities, especially in the hood. Like in the hood, a lot of their grandmas, their moms are just as hood, and they got all their behaviors from some dude that was in and out of jail. You feel me? Then their daughters are copying their behaviors from some dude that's in and out of jail. They out here flipping packs and shooting guns. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it might sound crazy, but this is the reality. Like, there are masculine women out there.
Yeah, until some man comes in and shatters that whole reality. I'm like, oh shit, I thought I was like a dude, or I thought I was masculine. I ain't masculine because I don't want that smoke. Especially when they see that real masculine smoke. So
men ain't wasting their time. I'm gonna give you an example. Ebony K. Williams.
Right.
Yeah.
She believes the sauce. the juice that she drunk, she believes that she could be in her femininity conditional for the right type of man financially, but her outcomes, look at her outcomes. It's two
Which is
times.
why they're where they are.
Yep, 2 times
Yep.
she could have been married. Then she didn't even walk back. She doubled down her statement regarding the boss owner and calling men mediocre. Not everybody can be in the top percentile, even though you aspire for it.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? And there's a lot of women that buy into that. And to me, that's cancerous. Because a lot of women hear that and they're like, why not me?
Mm-hmm.
And then a lot of them used to knock Kevin Samuels. And that's a point that I like that he brought up. He would bring up okay, where are you? How much kids you got? Are you working?
Mm-hmm.
He'd bring up statistical things to like, okay, now, do you think you can get a high value man? Do you think a regular man just can't be the man for you? No, I'm worth this. Or you are 5 through 10. That's life.
No,
That's
you're right.
that's the real. And a lot of these women buy into that thing. A woman should never be masculine. A woman could be assertive. You should never have a masculine trait in your body. Like I said, I mirror Felicia Rashad. Even though I have questions about the theme of the show, she used to speak with most of the times with a soft voice, and her voice hit like a boulder because you know it meant something. A woman that's around you is supposed to be your peace. A woman should be able to look at you and pull you away from the edge.
But Kenny, where do they learn that?
Hmm?
Where do they learn that? Where are they supposed to learn that?
Where they're supposed to learn that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that starts at home. That starts at foundation.
Mm-hmm.
That starts at results driven. My results
who
are not working.
shows them that?
The
Who shows them
insanity. I'm
that?
doing the same thing over, and the outcomes are not what I want. So I cry.
No. Who shows them how they're supposed to be, how they should be? Mr. Felicia Rashad. Like, how are they? Where do they learn?
At the home.
Right. I guess a little bit deeper. Like where are they supposed to learn that at? Where should they learn that at? Because that's learning how to be a wife. That's learning how to be a wife.
Okay, Madden. That's innate.
From their mother and father.
Hold on. That's innate. If I say home and you do that, it's the same thing. And let's move it aside. That's an innate thing. A woman cleaves to a protective man. True or not true? A woman goes, a true woman within her femininity knows the role. If you want to do biblical, God, man, woman, child, and is comfortable in being in that position. Women are non-traditional nowadays, but you have the super pro feminine. I could do it all by myself. I don't need no man. I don't want no scrub. Okay, I'm like, it started back then, and women started like, and when a man tells them, okay, you're out of order, they double down, get in your face, raise their voice, and be what they are nowadays. I wouldn't say there's a subset, not all, but that's what I see.
Right. Also, I think y'all might be overlooking. I just want to add something. I think y'all might be overlooking also the benefit in the feminine world that women get from behaving in a masculine way. Like, women have their own little network and their own little connection and their own little society, their own peer groups. And a masculine woman is kind of an asset to other women, because that gives other women who don't want to rely on men kind of in their mind another reason why they don't have to rely on men, because, oh, well, this big chick helped me around the house with XYZ. This masculine girl could make me feel a little safe because she's acting just like the dudes act. So it's like, just how does that help them? It gives them
how does that help us?
That doesn't help us. It doesn't help us in any way at all. I'm just saying that keep in mind that that's also part of the existence of masculine women. It's incentivized.
I could have sworn you opened it up with we got to look at the benefit of it. Okay.
Yeah.
No, I'm not. I didn't say it benefits us. I was just no. I'm not saying it benefits us at all. I'm just saying that that's the cause of it.
Clout. That is the same thing that have women with low self-esteem. Those that have faced domestic violence and other things that fall into that other lifestyle, and they have women like that to go within covens, and they don't resolve issues. They just go to the other side. That's what I'm hearing, and that's what I actually have seen. That how that's beneficial to breaking up families and getting away from the order of things.
Yeah,
I
Well,
think
it seems beneficial. It's just
be
a
mad.
fact.
I'm just gonna ask Be Mad at something real quick. Do you believe in the theory that a man could unlock a woman's femininity?
Do I believe that they can?
Yeah, because all right, so we've talked about this before, where like women,
Your
would say,
your answer has
I
to
just
be
need,
yes.
I just need the man,
mean,
I just need the man, I just need the man to unlock my femininity. You believe in that?
Oh, when they say that, when they say I need the right
Yeah.
man to unlock, okay, because they want to be feminine for a particular type of dude that's their type.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mr. Masculine
Yes, I
Alpha Male
believe
gonna
that.
kick in the door and
Yes, I believe that. I believe that. I don't. I believe that they use that lip service. I believe they use that lip service all day, but they're gonna get soft for the one that makes them feel soft, and that's just what it is. Should they move around that way? No, I don't think they should. But at the same time, you're looking at women that are, nowadays that are being really picky, as they should when they're looking for a partner, when they're looking for a husband. They should be picky. It should be the ones that they feel as though that can cover them, can protect them, can provide for them, can give them and they look the way they need them to look and all that kind of stuff too, just like we do when we're choosing a woman. You got to look like the way I like you to look. You got to have the right kind of heart, the right kind of energy and the mindset I need you to have.
listen.
I'll be a good boyfriend to the one that I want. The one that I don't want, I'm just gonna be whatever.
Hey, B. Matt, can you elaborate a little bit? Because I seen some facial expressions when you say, when you mentioned that you can unlock it, you just got to be the right person. Can you just elaborate a little bit on that?
I mean, personally, I've dated women who might have been a little bit, harder to get along with. I've dated women that might have been every dude couldn't get to her and that kind of stuff. But when I got to her, it was a different situation. She opened up like a beautiful flower. So,
Okay.
like a delicate flower. So
I want to ask
All
you.
right, porno star.
Hold on.
I'm just saying.
All right, so we have a lot of.
I'm not trying to be funny. Like seriously though, like it's the right kind of energy, and I was her cup of tea.
Okay.
And she got softer with someone that's her cup of tea.
I want to ask you this. So for the men that complains all the time about masculine women, would you say is more so the man's problem? Or would you say it's the woman's problem? If they are encountering masculine women or speaking about masculine women being an issue?
I'm not going to pretend like we're not in the times that we're in, and the fact that you've got more of that masculine energy in women nowadays, the boss bitch type of mentality. That's really a myth. I mean, like there's women out here that are starting businesses, but are they still doing it? Are they finishing them? Are they successful in them? Are they turning profits? Are they really quitting their jobs and really building like a large business? I mean, not en masse. No, they're not. So that's not fully realistic. We have to get our women out of the delusions that TV, media, and the internet have been feeding them for a long time. But at the end of the day, whose problem is it? It's our problem, because we can't procreate with the ones we need to procreate with and build strong Black families and whatnot if everyone's on different pages. So it's everybody's issue. But at the end of the day, the men choose who ends up with the ring. The men choose who ends up with the babies and with the families. So yeah, I think it's our deal, but we're gonna choose. So the ones that are too masculine gonna end up by their damn selves anyway. So they're gonna end up having a commune with other masculine type chicks or whatever. And then the ones that are more feminine or whatever, they're the ones who end up getting married. They're the ones who end up with the rings. They're the ones, because at the end of the day, we don't want to have to teach you how to be soft. We don't want to teach you how to be a woman. We want to teach you how to love us individually and our love languages and what we need to be in our programming. But at the end of the day, I can't teach you how to be a woman. You either know that shit or you don't.
I think it's
I think it's only a problem for the person that accepts it.
I think it's delusional for us to think that we unlock women to be feminine. Like that, to me personally, that concept is mind blowing. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, if this is a woman You're supposed to be feminine. You know what I'm saying?
Should be.
Period.
Should
It shouldn't matter if I shouldn't have to unlock this in you. It should already be in you. And if it's not in you, then it just ain't in you. Now, I may be the right man to further mature it, but to unlock it, you know what I'm saying? I think using that
well,
term,
I guess, but Biz, I'm thinking more so opening her up more. That's what I mean. I mean, open her up emotionally, and falling in line like relationally. That's more so I'm talking about, not like unlocking her to be a feminine woman around me and she's masculine if I don't. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking like to open her up, take down that wall, all that type of stuff. Because some walk around with a big ass brick wall because they get hit on like 24/7.
But is
so they got a wall up to most men.
But is that them being feminine, though? I don't think that's necessarily them being
Shan,
feminine.
you on mute, Shan.
Yeah, let's go ahead and get some. Yeah, let's go get some of the other brothers. So we got Nelson.
Shan over here having a whole conversation on mute.
Yeah, Shan.
Look like he's throwing up gang signs.
Right, exactly. I know he in Cali, shit.
Well, all right, go ahead, Shan.
Yeah, that's just a woman being guarded. Yeah, it's not necessarily masculinity. She's just being protective of herself, but being guarded and protective is not necessarily masculine. And so, B. Madden, on the last point that you mentioned, women don't typically soften up once their frontal lobe is developed. We got this saying, B. Madden, you in the gym, I'm in the gym. We got this saying in the gym. It doesn't get easier, you just get stronger. Working out doesn't get easier, you just get stronger. And that's where we build more weight. And so what happened when that woman that you was dating, that you thought softened up, she didn't soften up. She was the same woman she always was. It's just you was a stronger man than those glass guys that she dated. And so a lot of women that say things like, oh, you know what, I just need the right man to make me become feminine. No, you need the right man that is strong enough to handle your masculine ass, where the last men ain't dealing with that. And so you think that you softened up, but you didn't soften up. You're the same woman that you've always been, especially when they're older. You just got a dude that ain't having that shit, ain't dealing with that shit, and you like him enough that you'll tolerate the shit that he's telling you, but you didn't typically change your personality. People don't just flip like that. And so women don't, it's not, men aren't unlocking women's femininity. You either are or you aren't. And depending on the guy that you're dating, is either gonna take that shit or he's not. And if you like him enough, you'll shut the fuck up. But you still be trying to talk shit the same way you would be with the other guy. Just the other guy is, he's not, argumentative. He doesn't want to get into no battles or whatever it is. Whereas the new dude might go upside your head. So for the women out there that think that they're gonna be soft for the right guy, no, you're not. You're gonna be the same hard ass you've always been, no matter who you date, especially if you're over 25, in your 30s, certainly in your 40s. You just need a motherfucker that's gonna be able to tolerate that shit.
What?
But men who call women masculine, if it walks like a duck, talks like a duck, it's a duck. Shout out to Trip in the video, man. But I think he's placating to the audience.
Absolutely.
As they do, as they do on this show. And he's using it's semantics, man. We're not gonna play with Trip knows better than to play with semantics. He knows what men mean when they talk about a woman who's masculine. Clout was saying logic. Clout said he wants a woman that has. See, logic is not masculine. Using reason and intelligence is not necessarily masculine. Clout, and even Trip said, but Trip did say two things. He said assertive and disagreeable. And the reality is assertiveness and disagreeableness are traits of masculinity. And Kenny, I think you mentioned that you wanted an assertive woman. You don't want an assertive woman, Kenny, because assertive is like, I'm gonna take charge, and disagreeable means I'm negotiating. It's one of the reasons why we could take our car to the mechanic and we not gonna get fucked when we hear a knock in the engine. But a woman goes to the mechanic all by herself. She's like fresh meat. It's like the mechanic is like rubbing his hands together, you know. So
Birdman hand rub.
Yeah, the Birdman hand rub. When she pulls up in there, she said, "I got my check engine light came on. I don't know what's going on. Can you help me?" He's like, "Yeah, I got you." And she's gonna pay whatever it is because she's agreeable. You know, in fact, agreeable and disagreeable are personality traits listed in the DSM-5. Nelson knows about this. Nelson probably got a copy of the DSM-5, the Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders.
You got to have it.
You got one sitting on his shelf. He knows. It's agreeableness is part of the 5-factor model. One of them is neuroticism. The other one is extrovert or extrovertism or something like that. Openness, agreeableness, and conscientiousness. Agreeableness is a trait of women, and it's feminine. It's the primary reason why the wage gap is a myth. It's because men, when they go to negotiate their salary at a job, I want $75,000 a year. And the employer says, well, we only have $60,000 available for the job. No problem. If you find the other $15,000, call me. The woman goes to the same job interview. I want $75,000 a year. The employer says, we only got $60,000. She says, okay, I'll take it. And then they hire her, but then they realize they need another person. And then they call the guy up. Hey, we found that $15,000. Can you come in? And so now she's getting paid 60 and he's getting paid 75 for doing the same job, working on the same team, but they don't discuss their salary until they get told. And Tripp knows that men are talking about women who do not turn that masculinity, assertiveness and disagreeableness off. Because there's women that's out there like that in the workforce. But when you get home, turn that shit off. Cloud, you touched on it at the end. The issue is, it's not that men have an issue with women's masculinity at work, because we don't deal with you at work. That's between you and your coworkers and your subordinates and your boss and your manager and your supervisor and all of that. And you got to get that expense report done by Friday, and you got a deadline, and you got a Zoom meeting with the regional man. Fine, do all of that shit. But when you get to this front door, you turn that shit off. But what's happening is women aren't turning it off. They getting home and they think they the boss of the house. They think they the boss of you. They trying to micromanage you. And you like, wait, what? Hold on. I don't work for you. That ain't how that's not how that goes. And so we know when we call women masculine, it's because you're being masculine with me. And you picked up that masculinity on your road to your PhD. You started off when you was a young girl, and you took it to college, and you graduated college, and you fought for that degree, and you got your second degree, you got your master's, and now you got that, and then you got your moniker, and now you run out into the work field, and you're a junior executive in the corner office, but you sitting in the cubicle, and you want to get your own private, and you working, and then you want to date, and you think you're gonna come micromanage me at home. That's not happening. You keep that shit at work, but women are oftentimes not turning that off. So men who call women masculine is calling them that for a reason, not because we're assessing her behavior at her job. I'm at my job. I don't know. I ain't worried about that. All I want to hear about is your wins of the day, baby. But when we get here, I'm the boss. And a lot of women ain't having that. They want to be the boss at home and at work. And that's the problem. And Tripp knows that that's what men is talking about.
I want to go to Brother Nelson. I need some of your expertise on here based off of what you've seen, your experiences. Fact that some women won't control when they're at home.
Yeah, so this is just my opinion, but I think when I look at masculinity, in terms of women and their behavior, I always look at the motive and the intent. So when I look at their behavior, the behaviors that are done in direct opposition to men, I look at that as being masculine. So and it's kind of necessary in the work world, like, you know, if a woman is single and she's, you know, trying to advance her career or trying to just be able to kind of just move forward in life, you do need to have traits of being assertive and you know, taking the initiative and leading in different areas. In some jobs you're managing people, so it's completely acceptable and right to do it in that instance. But Shannon hit the nail on the head when he said talked about the inability to turn it off when you get home. And a lot of women, I think that's where that term needing the right man to unlock her so that way she can turn it off when she gets home. But when you look at the motive and the intent, a lot of times women will turn it off until they hear something that they don't like or see a weakness in a man or see his vulnerability or insecurity, and that's when they turn it back on because they feel like they got to jump in and save the day, rather than believing they can jump in and save the day, but they submit that desire to their man and let him handle things. And then the other side of it is we have a lot of men that are passive and they unconsciously pair with these types of women to begin with. It's the men that may not have a fully secure view of their own masculinity, so they join up with a woman that has more motherly traits, and they go for the women that they say they're the ones that hold them down. We're going to get the bag together. They join up with those types of women, and when those men are in their insecure moments, they unconsciously look for their woman to come and bail them out, their woman to come in and take charge for that particular point in time. And then those men complain about, well, I want to be the leader in the house. You're trying to take over too much. So those men are sending mixed signals to women. So, you know, to a large extent of that, I think that the men that are more secure have a more accurate view of masculinity in their own lives. They will pair up with women that are more submissive, that are more agreeable. They'll naturally do it. Not that those women may not at times test those boundaries, but I think that's a more natural pairing.
Yeah, to piggyback off of what Nelson was saying, there's a book called The Masculine in Relationships, and they touch on how there are alpha women that are attracted to more soft and feminine men, and of course vice versa, where there's alpha men that strictly just go for extremely submissive women, and then you have the pair that's in the middle. So I do think that and even to touch on what Shannon was saying, I forgot the guy's name, but there's this one guy that does a podcast, and he was saying how if a woman has her own house, then she's masculine and he can't do nothing with her. He don't want her type of deal. To me, I think that's men that say that are just soft men. You know what I'm saying? You just soft, period. So we're with us now being in this time period as to where we are, well, not we, but society is creating soft men. They then regurgitate that, they take it in, think that it's true, and it's like, no, nigga, you just soft. You know what I'm saying? So I think that it fits that. I think that people just have to realize what role it is that they play and you know what I'm saying, and go about it, because there are going to be women that they just go off after the soft men because they know that they can run over them, and it's going to be men that's going to be okay with it, and vice versa. So yeah.
All right, we're gonna go to Marcus, and then we'll let Hank take us home if he want to add something.
Nelson, right?
Okay. That's it. All right. Hey, Kenny, I don't know if you chimed. Did you chime in on this? I want to make sure I got your perspective on it.
Yeah, I kind of did, but just to quickly recap that, I fully agree with Shannon. I have to walk back that assertive. I thought about it for a while, and I really don't want an assertive woman. I want a woman that that is a little bit softer than that, because I was like, yeah, I would agree with that, but that's a non-negotiable nowadays. As for Viz said, a lot of men are soft, but a lot of men are beat back into softness because regulations and things and how we live today favor women. You can't say anything, like on a show that Hank was on with this girl Flora. She said something and DJ Hamp caught it. After I showed it to him, she was like, I'm uncomfortable. After he just asked her a regular question, if we're in a work setting, I'm in HR fighting for my job. Just off of that statement alone. So a lot of men would suffer in silence, knowing that there's a certain leverage that they can't. I wouldn't say they can't, that they're more careful about expressing, and that could be perceived as men backing down and tucking tail and sitting the piss.
That's fair. It ain't what you do, it's how you do it, though.
Kind of tough. It's a thin line between shakes and fries.
All right, go ahead, brother. Go ahead, take us on with this one, Hank.
So, I don't know about if getting with a woman who's not already feminine and I'm unlocking. I'm not trying to do that because like Nell said, that's a default. She goes to work, does all that shit. Then I expect her to cut that shit off. No, she's not gonna cut it off, like Nelson said. It's only gonna take one disagreement, one run-in, one argument, and then all of a sudden it comes out, and I got to deal with that. Hell no. What do I want to deal with that for? No, that's not the play for me. So if that's how she's coming, you better find one of them soft men. I think like talking about, go get with him. I'm not the man for you, because I'm not going to sit there and put up with that bullshit. Why? What the fuck I put up that for? In fact, you need to go get you a woman, because that's what you really want. You want a feminine woman just like I want a feminine woman, because you don't want a man. You want to be in a relationship with a woman so you can dominate and put the pants on. What the hell I need that for in my goddamn life? No, she's got to become ready-made. I'm not trying to fix her. I'm not trying to restore her. I'm not doing nothing. The only thing I restore is old cars. I'm not restoring a woman. You got to come ready-made at my age. I'm not tolerate that. And if you come in a masculine frame, well, I'm not masculine when I get home with my man. I turn it off. Bullshit. It's only a matter of time for you to go to your default.
Marcus, you want to say something?
Yeah, I was gonna ask. Have y'all ever heard men say that they don't like women that are too soft because they feel like they can walk all over them? You never heard nobody say that?
Yeah,
I've had heard it. I think it's silly.
I think I've heard it
personally,
before.
but I have heard it, and I've heard a lot of women say that too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I have heard women say that about themselves, that they're worried about being too soft because they don't want to get walked all over. I've heard that, but I ain't never heard a man say no shit like that.
Right.
Well, the thing about it, if as long as that woman gets with the right man, she got a chance. She's good. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully her father's in her life where he can kind of guide her and help her find the right man to put her under a real man's covering. Because, a woman like that who gets under a situation like that, it could be real detrimental. For sure.
Marcus, I heard men say that sometimes they feel like their woman is being not too soft but too dependent. Like they feel like they have to do every single thing in the relationship. Like she can't take the initiative and do anything. And it might be the initiative in doing something, something simple around the house, but they feel like she acts like she's just helpless all the time. So being, you don't need to relate being helpless to being feminine. Like there's a certain extent, like you have to carry a load in the relationship. You don't need to carry the load that the men are supposed to be carrying. So you got the guys that are, they're the ones putting the kids to bed every night, reading them stories, doing their homework with them, all the other tasks that are like more supportive type tasks. So I get some of those types of men that come into the office, but none that are saying a woman is being too soft, as in too feminine.
Yeah, like I think when you had these discussions, even when they come to your office, Nelson, I think that you have to get a little bit more context, because sometimes when people are describing situations that you don't get the full understanding. I had a friend that was like that. He was married and it was almost like he was taking care of another child because she couldn't function, she couldn't do anything. She had a degree and she wasn't using it. She just didn't know how to operate and do day-to-day stuff, and so he found himself working extra hard. So not only did he have to go work and provide for the house, but then things wasn't getting done. And so now he's trying to teach her and she's still not getting it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
that's Clout's biggest fear. That is Clout's biggest fear. That's what Clout is talking about. When Clout was saying, man, you got to be a functional woman. We all want an intelligent woman. We want a functional woman. I don't want you just to be a complete airhead. You don't know how to do nothing. We get to the store, you don't know where to go. I'm dragging you along. We can't shop. You go that way and I go this way, and I'll meet you at the register. She's like, I don't know what brand do I buy?
I've been there.
Just like
I've been there.
Yeah.
That's my ex-wife.
Trauma.
I'm definitely more attracted to women that I would say are in positions of power. That shit is sexy as fuck to me. Just to be able to know that I don't have to always make all the decisions, because I was in a relationship like that where I literally had to make all the decisions all day, every day. And that's exhausting. So me personally, I do find women that are in those positions to be extremely sexy as hell. And, I mean, again, it's different strokes for different folks, but I think that for what it is that I plan to achieve in life, I feel like that's, what I'm saying, it's essential.
I'm just at this comment. He said Viz wants to be dominated.
No, I ain't fit to be.
What he said is important though.
Wait, so Viz, when you mean positions of power, can you like describe what an ideal, like you have the most extreme position of power a woman would be in? What would it look like?
I mean, again, with the field that I'm in, I'm surrounded around women that run multi six-figure, you know what I'm saying, companies. They're getting paid 15 grand to go and speak at an event. There's women that are legit checking the bag, and they know what they're talking about. They walk into a room and they stand out. I think that is extremely attractive.
Listen, I think a lot of guys like the idea that like soft life, like girl that's like dainty and don't do nothing. I feel like it's like a fantasy for a lot of guys until they actually get it. Like when you actually have it and you get married to it and you're living with it and you're trying to build a life with it, then you're just like, oh wait, this is actually not what it seems like. Then you start seeing them women that are able to think for themselves and make decisions and solve problems too. And sometimes you got 1,000 things on your plate, and then you got a woman who just slides through and fixes a problem for you, and you're just like, God damn, like this is what that feels like. Holy shit, like wow, I ain't felt this before, because the other girls really almost come off kind of useless, especially when you end up in a situation that requires like a lot of your time, a lot of your energy, a lot of your resources, especially if you take a L. Like when things are up, you know what I mean? You got a bag, then you're like, yeah, let me get that little baddie that don't do shit. But if you hit a hard time and that bag is down, and you need somebody that's gonna be, in the basement with you pressing t-shirts, like, is she gonna be in the basement with you pressing t-shirts? Like, nah, I need that girl. I need the girl that's gonna be like, hey babe, I know you've been buying the t-shirts from over here, but I was searching online the other day and I actually found a company that does it for the same shirt, same quality, even cheaper. Like, oh, you did that for me? Oh, nah, I gotta fuck with you. I gotta keep you, because we going to the top no matter what.
You just gave an example of a man making a bad decision.
Sure, I'm sure some men make bad. I mean, I'm not saying men can't make bad decisions. Some niggas, any man can make a bad decision for sure.
I was about to get B Madden in there, because I think B Madden said that he likes a woman, that he's seen some women that was in position that was shit. He don't mind dating them either.
Yeah, y'all got to be careful. Go ahead. I'll come after B Madden and
I said no.
No, yeah. I mean, I've dated women that, I mean, have been VPs, directors, doctors, pharmacists, lawyers, TV anchors. I mean, it don't matter to me. I mean, I like a woman that's competent. I like a woman that's logical. I like a woman that can go get her own. That's cool. That means she wants to spoil me sometimes too, every once in a while. I think that's cool. It's different than some of these other chicks that, they might be a bartender or something. And nothing wrong with that, but that their level of security is not the same. The level of income isn't the same, that they can just, hey, let's go book a trip, let's go somewhere real quick. I'm like, oh shit, okay, let's go do that then. I didn't have to think of it. I didn't have to get on the internet and look up the flights, and she just go ahead and just do it. I got points. Okay, bet. I do too. Let's do it. Let's go. Let's run it. So
Trey, I mean,
be mad.
What's up, Sam?
Let me ask him this, little JR.
Hold on, like, is it just a YouTube thing, Shan? Is it just what guys spell on YouTube and B Madden and Viz and Clout living more like in
Nah, man. Clout guy. I'm with Clout, because Clout is asking for intelligence.
Okay.
You can have submission and intelligence all wrapped up in the same ball. That's fine. What B Madden and Viz is describing is assertiveness. And so I think my man Viz and my man B Madden, I think they smash those women. But have y'all been in a long-term relationship with those women? Because what happens is they get comfy. And I'm in Hollywood, and I know these women. I know these execs. I give the story about Sony Picture Studios. I've told you guys the story about Sony Picture Studios all the time. See, what happens is when she gets comfortable in a long-term relationship with you, because I've had this. I've dated women that you guys have seen on fucking reality TV shows. And when you guys are going to this event at the Directors Guild and you go left, and first thing she says is, why'd you go this way? We should have went that way, because this way is faster. That shit that's death by 1,000 cuts. And it's cute at first. It's like, oh, okay, I got me a smart woman. She knows a faster route. But you don't want to go that route. I want to go this way, because I know this way. I know I'm a miss traffic, because I know what time it is. She don't know what time it is, and she don't know that the construction is on Figueroa Boulevard. We need to take Century Boulevard instead. And I want to go this way. But now the night is fucked up and ruined, and y'all, it's a silent ride, all because she thinks she know what the fuck she's talking about, instead of just being a passenger princess. Sit back and let me get to this event safely. And so it's cute at first. I understand, because you think, man, I got this woman, she could come in and she gonna just take care of shit, and I ain't got to worry about this, and she got that covered, and so on and so forth, until she starts trying to fucking take care of you, until she starts trying to drive you and guide you and manage you and supervise you. And that typically doesn't happen in the butterfly early courting stages. That typically happens once everybody gets nice and comfy.
Shannon,
Fly, you never
the
get
screen
comfy.
freezing a bit.
Shannon, I was at the funeral, right? And my friend, his fiance, she was asking me something about a career choice. And I was like, well, I'm moving forward with this. That's why Z. She was like, no. So what? Wait, I'm not gonna say his name. I'm gonna create a fake name. So what John is gonna do is he's gonna become the head basketball coach at this. He's gonna work there for 3 years. Then he's gonna move up to this. Then he's gonna do this. Then he's gonna do that. And I was like, damn, it sounds like he planned his whole life. You be happy to have somebody plan your life the way I'm planning John's life. I was like, ain't this about it? And then when I like witnessed the relationship past that point, I seen times when like we went to a wedding and he had to call her by 12 o'clock. He threw a fit and almost tried to fight the guys because we wanted to hang out a little while longer. And he had told her he would be in the hotel room by 12. And he cried. He literally cried because he disappointed. And I was like, bro, motherfucker.
That's a different type of assertive.
That was the pressure of the thousand. That was at thousandth cut. It was 997, 998, and that 1000th cut made that nigga cry.
He cried. I was sitting there like, God damn. I feel like
it sounds like John got to let his nuts hang a little more.
Yeah.
It's a wrap for her. For John.
I've never had that. I've never had that experience. I have been in long-term relationships with women like that. But she understands and respects when I do take lead. If we are in a position of where, especially if I'm driving, then it don't matter what you think. If this is the route that I want to go, I'm driving, and this is the route that we're going to go. Now, if we're late because I made this turn, then hey, so be it. I'm gonna be late. You're gonna complain about it. I'll hear you out. I'll let it go in one ear, out the other, whatever the case may be.
She's gonna complain about it. She's gonna complain about it, Viz. Say you're late because of the route that you took. She's gonna complain about it, or she's gonna just be like, "Well, that's my man, and that's the decision he made, and I'm fine with it, good, bad, or indifferent."
I'm saying
and that's where
I'm saying if she does, you know what I'm saying.
When you do,
I can't expect for her to. We're all humans, right? And we're all going to have an opinion on something. If she wants to share her opinion and she relays it in a manner of where everything stays respectable, you're not talking crazy to me or nothing like that, then I'm gonna hear you out. You know what I'm saying? This is a person that I'm planning to spend the rest of my days with. So communication has to be key. So if she doesn't feel comfortable with relaying a message to me, then there's something that I'm not doing correct. So it has. I feel that there has to be a balance with that. But
I was with you to that last part, Viz.
Hold on.
I was with you till you took on the responsibility of you making a mistake. Because typically what happens is when she's at work and somebody doesn't do what she tells them to do and things fail, she's not just gonna be like, well, it happens. I understand. Somebody getting scolded, getting written up, and she's gonna let them know, don't make that mistake again. I know you
just be like, yo, quiet, woman. You're like, man, woman, get out of here, man. Quick. Be like, yo, quiet. Where you going? None of your damn business. Just sit down, relax. We gonna get there. And that's it.
I don't know who the fuck you talking to.
Yes. Why did you worry?
I've honestly, you know what's funny about that though? I've literally never had a woman respond negatively to me saying something like that. Usually they'd be like, okay, daddy, or something like that. You know what I mean? Like usually that's just how they respond. When I'm like, yo, what are you talking about? Where we going? Don't worry about where we going. You'll find out when we get there. Okay, baby. It's really usually not that big.
Oh, really? But I hear you. Viz, I feel what you're saying, though, Viz. I got what you're saying, bro. Especially if they're talking and they're coming at you with love, and they babe, you went. See, babe, now you're gonna have to. Yeah, I get this right side of the bed tonight because you went left. If she's coming with it flirty and friendly and with love and you guys are keeping it respectful, I understand exactly what you're saying, bro.
Yeah.
Can you reword that for me real quick?
When you said, Viz, when you were saying she understand when I do take the lead, I don't know. Can you like reword that?
I'm saying if with how we was talking about earlier with knowing to turn that shit off when you walk in the door. You know what I'm saying? Once you get home. So when she get to the house, or when I come home, she understands that this isn't the business. You're not the same person that you were at work. You know what I'm saying? This
Because
is a completely
I
different.
think I get what you're saying now. At first,
Yeah.
it sounded like you were saying like there is no default person. So whenever you decide to become that person, she'll understand it. That's a dangerous game to play. If that was what you were saying, but you clarified it, and that's not your point.
All right, y'all. We gotta start transition. I just want to go ahead and bring this up as well, because since we talk about femininity and soft women being feminine, it just seems to be in this era. There are some times now that women do have a representative in the beginning of the relationship, and it's because of what they've been consuming and thinking that this is what men want. But often, and Nelson, you may be able to touch on this, when it comes a moment that they don't like, then that's when you see it comes out. Can you just elaborate a little bit on that, Nelson, and then we'll go ahead and transition?
Yeah, it's wearing a mask, and men do that to a certain extent too. You put on this version of yourself that is a lot of times it is agreeable. It is very much liking that, the guy that tells you to just sit back and be quiet. And we'll see when we get there kind of stuff is cute at first, but after about 3 months, you start to see who they naturally are. So that's when you start to see the small complaints. This is when you see a lot of the complaints about why'd you do it like this and not that. You start to see the different fits and things like that. It's we jump into relationships way too quick without understanding who a person really is, and that's because a lot of times because we don't have the correct kind of conversations to know if this then that. If I say this or if I do this, you will naturally react like that. And until we stop acting like, and because men do the same exact thing, we will call and check in 3 times a day. We'll send those text messages just thinking about you. We do a lot of things that aren't going to be sustainable for the long-term part of the relationship. So once those things start falling off and we start being our natural selves, they pick up on us being a fraud. I mean, and that's when they start challenging you, testing the boundaries, things like that, because their natural self is coming out. And that's when the divorce happens, is when 2 people finally become their natural self and realize that they came in to the relationship both as frauds.
Man, it's such a great conversation, man. I just got to ask a couple more questions, maybe just one more question, Nelson. So, is there any people that show up that's actually themselves, or do you think, for the most part, based off your experience, that everyone has a representative?
I think everybody has a representative. I think it's a
Not
very
Trev is real from the beginning.
Nah, I think it's a natural thing because everybody wants to put their best foot forward, but the problem is when people put their best foot forward and their natural self doesn't look anything like what that best foot forward looks like. So I think it's so, to a certain extent, it's also okay to come in and put your best foot forward in certain ways in terms of being the type of person that you are striving to be. So once you've been in a relationship for a bit, and I always say it takes 3 months to really get to know somebody. Once you get past that 3-month mark and now you're seeing what that person scaled back looks like, that gives, and that that's something that you can deal with, that's something that works for you, then you can work in a relationship based on optimism. Like you're content in the state that you're in with them, but you also see their ambition and see what the most efficient them looks like in the future as well. So it's all about, it really is all about taking that time to not focus on the physical characteristics, the fake ways that people are trying to be helpful in relationships. After the 3 months mark, when you start being your normal self, then start evaluating the relationship.
Okay. All right. So if everyone gets in relationships knowing that there's a representative, then if they come in with that understanding, is it easier for them to say, okay, we got to start working on some things, or is it easier for them to stay together if they come with that understanding?
I mean, but if they come with that understanding and they both see a bunch of things that each other needs to work on, then should you really be together in the first place? There's no point in buying a fixer-upper. Like,
But everybody, okay, I see what you're saying. If they know who they are on the front end, but if everybody's showing up their representative, I like the part where you said that you have to just kind of reevaluate. I think maybe have a conversation after 3 months and say how you think the relationship is going. These are the things that I like, these are things I don't like, and then see if it improves then. If it's not too over the edge, because some things can just be like unacceptable and they're not going to understand that behavior, but anything that's reasonable, because I don't think anybody's picture perfect.
I definitely say
there's a red flag. If there's
I definitely say
you want to see that way before the 3 months. If you're spending time with a person within 3 months, you're gonna encounter some type of experiences that's going to show what how it is that they handle those moments. And if as a man, if you're doing your due diligence of paying attention to your surroundings, then you should almost already be able to tell that, okay, she overreacts in these situations. Like with Marcus, he was talking about the chick that wants him to call her at midnight or be back at the hotel. Then somebody like that, then he saw that before, the 3 months. She at some point showed that this is the type of woman that she is before the 3 months.
Yeah, but that pussy good, Viz. That pussy good. He may have to.
That's fair. That's fair. But you know what I'm saying? At some point, we're grown men now. When we was younger, you 20, early 20s, something like that, then okay, you maybe could let that pass. But now as grown men, you know what I'm saying, we only got so many more summers, in this motherfucker. So we gotta make it count.
That 3 months is really important, because I like what you said about them knowing, like seeing behaviors immediately and like picking up on those red flags. But the important thing to know is the context behind them. So even that checking in at 12 o'clock, is he doing that because she is untrusting and she believes that a real relationship looks like you're home at a certain time of night,
Right.
every night? Or is it coming from a place of anxiety? Does she have a natural anxiety that something bad is going to happen, and so you are proactively doing these things to kind of keep her reassured? So that's why we need that extra time to gather the context behind those behaviors.
I agree with
that. Transition, y'all. We got to transition.
All right.
Sure. Yeah, my apologies, man. I know we went over on this, but it was a great dialogue. And for the people that haven't been speaking, like Trev, Hank, Kenny, B. Madden, I'm going to go to you guys first on the next topic, just so we can kind of balance it out. And Cloud 2, you'll be after them, and then we'll get to the regular folks that's been speaking already. Yeah, just tuning in. Welcome to King Talk. What's going on, Brother Ali? I see you in the chat as well. We get these super chats out the way. Juicy Workshaw says, let's get it, brothers. Much needed. AP, $10 says, shout out to the Kangs, my brother Marcus Hink, cousin Viz, and Unc JR, salute. AP again says, brother Kenny, salute. Appreciate your vulnerability. AP again, $5 says, come on, you guys, answer Angela. I read this one already, but do you men want who gets into the grind, or do you prefer stuff? We already addressed that. Juicy Workshop with the $4.99. Salute. Harrison Davis, $5 says salute. BZ from Baby's A, $5 says define soft or feminine. It sounds like we want to say loving, or am I off? Juicy work. Soft. 199 says, fellas on point tonight. I want to thank everybody that's contributed to the platform thus far. Let's go ahead and keep it moving. Hit that like button. Also, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Now it's time to get to the main topic. The Terrorist Whitfield says, single season brings unrest to me. Let me go ahead and play this clip, and then we'll get into it.
Season brings unrest to me, even though I divorced the woman that I married, because marriage feels like I'm settled. The fact that I'm not married, I still feel unsuccessful in my pursuit.
Wow. Is that hell? Isn't that toxic?
No.
Wait, what is that?
What's toxic? Like to feel like you're failing because you're single.
Well,
that's
my
essentially
goal.
what you said.
Well, it's because my goal is I'm intentionally dating for marriage, so I want to be married. I don't like being single. Okay. I really don't like. I don't like, and I mean not single, because I don't believe in girlfriends and all that type of stuff. So I don't like being unmarried, because I understand what comes with a wife. For me, is my purpose partner. So I've accomplished what I've accomplished thus far on my own, by my own merit, but I know what will be added into my life marrying the right person.
Understood.
Yeah, so that's why I say it's marriage brings a lot that we don't talk about a lot. A lot of men feel like they lose in marriage. You have that narrative out there, but I know that marriage could be the most rewarding decision you'll ever make.
All right, before we get into it, this is something that he responded. He said, I'm extremely happy as a single man. I stated not feeling successful in that area. I'm the host of a podcast named Dear Future Wifey. I turned 46 years old last Friday. I refuse to be 50, still writing letters to my future wifey. So this was in the comments. Precious also wrote, men receive favor from the Lord when they marry. A lot of men don't know the Lord, so they miss out on the benefit package. All right, let's go ahead and discuss it. And Mr. Whitfield says, single season brings unrest to me. We'll go ahead and start with you, Kenny, then we'll go to Hink.
Well, run your race. That's that man's race. That's what he feels. That's his journey. That's how he wants to pen his life. And he's expressing the things that he feels are a necessity to him. What's a necessity to me is different than Clout, Shannon, Madden, all the other brothers on this panel. So can I say he's wrong? No, because that's how his life, that's how he manifests his life. This will make me whole. This will make me complete and content. And without this, I'll remain hungry. So I can't tell a man how to live his life and find his happiness. And if a man expresses, this is how I feel with a given situation, and this is what I want to improve it, so I can fulfill my journey, go get it.
Okay, so you said that that's not your journey as far as getting married, no? Okay.
No, I'm just making a hypothetical.
Hypothetical, okay.
Well, we're not solitary creatures. I want somebody in my life. My big thing is trust. The women I'm around, man, please. They do you a Cardi B, drug you and take your money, and then you all tied up somewhere. And I got that. I know it's morbid sometimes, but let me just bring it back to levels. My thing is trust. If I find a woman that I could coexist with, trade-offs and compromises, there's always going to be there. But I know that you're going to love me and be there for me shoulder to shoulder. And I know this for real. I'm going to commit to you. You're going to be my thing. I'm past them little 20 days of dry humping, my whole phase, all that stuff like that. You understand? You want somebody who's there that she see a bump on your back, she'll pop it for you or something like that. Or scratch something off your face. The little things, don't miss them. They're profound. Like I can see it in the city when I walk around. I see an old lady that's picking her old man face, making sure he's good. That's what I want.
All right, go ahead, Brother Hink.
Man, look, shout out to the brother, man, for him writing the Sierra letter. I mean, that's what it seemed like it was going on. I don't know how true that is, but that's what it looked like. So shout out to that brother. Nah, I'm just bullshitting. let me say this. I damn. I can understand what he's saying. You know, I could definitely understand what he's saying because I'm looking to get married again, and so I'm in the process of doing it this summer and making it happen for myself. So I definitely understand when you find that right person, it means a lot. You know what I'm saying? It does take a certain level of stress off of you. You know, I you know, when I was going through a process of when thinking about getting married again, I'm like, man, that can't be the case. When you sit back and you think about it and ponder and wonder, and I guess little stuff like Kenny said, just then wipe your nose. You know, she like you need to clean your nose out. You know what I'm saying? She makes sure you good. You ain't walk around. You know, you might want to go hit that shower, baby. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't smell it. Just everything good. But just little things like that, man. Just to have that person right beside you. You know what I'm saying? To rub your back when she seen you came from a good hard day at work. You know, it's just something. It's just something. You know what I'm saying? It's a beautiful thing if you got the right one. Now, if you mess around and get you a bad one, dog, God damn, you in for a bad ride. And I pray for the brothers that have to deal with that bullshit. But yeah, I could definitely understand what he's saying, man, for sure.
All right, go ahead, Trev.
You know what? I kind of I feel bad for the brother, man, in a way, because a lot of us, we feel like it's easy to find marriage, but it's definitely different right now, right? Shannon will tell you, man, these women are in business, right? So the sanctity of marriage isn't really something that people value as much anymore. A lot of people want to be this power couple, or, they want to make a chess move when they get married. They want to open up opportunities when they get married, right? It's not because they really love a person and they want to spend the rest of their lives with them all the time. And I think that's what the brother is probably looking for and praying for, right? Like Hank said, the homeboy, it looked like Sierra's prayer to me, man. And that's what he wants. He set us goal and everything. He's taking it very seriously. But unfortunately, the people who he's encountering are not taking it seriously. I would advise him to modify his vetting process, right? For starters, because if he's not ending up with anything good, the first thing you have to do is self-reflect, right? And see what it is that you can do to get the results that you want, right?
Yeah.
Did he freeze or is it just me?
Yeah, I think he froze.
Yeah,
I thought my stuff. All right, let's see. Go ahead, Clout. We'll go to you and then we'll go back to Trev.
Yeah, man. I understand his sentiments.
Did I get cut out?
Yeah, you did. You got cut out. You froze for a little bit. You can continue.
Yeah, I did. It looked like the whole thing froze. I don't know. I'm gonna try to keep going. Is it still doing it?
Nah, you good right now.
All right, cool. So yeah, a lot of women who he probably encountered, because he seemed like a nice guy, right? And you already know what happens with that, right? I could just see him trying to approach most modern day women and what would happen to them. They would chew him up and spit him out, right? That's just what it is, man. These women are looking for opportunities, especially now they get the idea that he's got a little bit of clout to him. He's got a little bit of money. He's successful and he's nice. That's a horrible combination, unfortunately, because women just see you as prey at that point, right? They see what they can do for you. And we just talked about that whole representative situation, and he's going to meet a bunch of women's representatives. And if he can have a really, really good vetting process, then he's going to fall victim to many women many times over. So it's frustrating. A lot of people just don't understand it. Like, a lot of people think that men really just want to be out here boning everything, but that's not the situation. There's a lot of men out here who are trying to find love, getting their heart broken over and over again. And that's all they want. He probably just want to have a family, live in a nice.
Yeah, he froze again.
Yeah, he's
Say they
frozen.
want, right? Damn, is it? Oh, that's bullshit. What the hell's
That's your,
happening?
that's your girl. She fucking with the router.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's going on. It did it twice now. Yeah, I'm gonna let somebody else have it for now until this. Let me see. I'm gonna do a couple of troubleshooting.
All right, this is something else. Somebody said, no, he got chicks in the friend zone that I'm sure are wife worthy. We get the same energy to the ladies. We got to be held accountable to our friend zone too, LOL. He responded back by saying, not true. Wisdom has taught me that just because we're friends doesn't mean we're compatible in marriage. So it seems like he may just be getting some action according to him, but he hasn't ran across anything that was serious enough for marriage or that he deemed to be marriage worthy. But go ahead, Clout.
All right. Yeah. So I'm listening to the sentiments of everything he's saying, and it sounds very heartwarming. It sounds very romantic. You know, it sounds very you know, it's a tearjerker. You know, you see him there pouring his heart out, saying he wants to you know, he's trying to find love, and I think there's nothing inherently wrong with that. But on the other hand, he sounds a little pathetic. Like he sounds kind of like he doesn't sound like he's having a good time in life.
What?
And I feel as though the way he's describing his life, he's pushing away the very thing he wants. Like I don't think any grown man should be writing letters to his wifey, like respectfully. I think that right there, it looks to me, it looks wild, pathetic, and desperate. And I feel like to a woman, it'll probably look wild, pathetic, and desperate. Like, bro, like you have so little options that you're writing love letters to a fictional woman on the internet. Like that's a strange, that's like a strange thing for a guy to be doing. I feel like he should be out living his life, meeting people. Like the reason why he feels the way he does, because he's not living a life that's enjoyable. Because if he was, he'd be meeting plenty of women. There's plenty of there's plenty of good women out there, especially at the age level he's at. Like the women his age aren't the ones running the streets. Those are the ones that ready to get married and ready to settle down.
Yeah.
Especially if he in the church, he should have no problem finding a wife. I've seen people in my church. I've seen women in my church. Their husband died, they get married like that. I've seen men in the church. Their wife died, they're able to marry like that because they're just jovial, fun, exciting people to be around. They attract the opposite sex towards them. They attract the same sex towards them. I mean, no homo, like no Diddy, but you get what I'm saying. So like essentially, I just think he just sounds kind of like he's kind of sad, like you know what I mean? Like I get it, bro. Like you want to have a wife, but you admittedly divorced the wife you had. If you hold marriage to this super high esteem that you're talking about, number one, why didn't you keep the wife you had? And I gotta say that because that's what Kevin Samuels would have said. Samuels would have said that to a baby mom. Well, why don't you go back to the father of your kids? Well, bro, you want to be married so bad. Why don't you go back to that woman you made the commitment to, that you divorced? Oh, okay. So clearly it's not that. To me, it just seemed like he's chasing a new car. Like I feel like this guy is the type of guy that he's gonna get married, feel on top of the world, be in love for a couple of years, realize that he was just doing it to feel good, get divorced, and then say, oh, but I really want to be married again. Then chase the next high. Like that's the guy that has 3, 4, 5 wives. Because to me, it just seems like a high that he's chasing. It doesn't seem like it's like it's not something you look for, in my opinion. In my opinion, you find that person and then you get married to that person. But to be writing letters to like bro, slow down. Find a woman first. You're talking about finding, I don't know. It just seems like a lot of like woman type of thinking, like how women are like planning out their wedding dress before they get married. That's the energy I'm getting from him, and it seems very non-masculine. It's just disgusting to me. Like, it's pathetic. Yeah, so that's my take.
Believe in the law of attraction.
Hold on. Cloud, I'm not really sure if you are familiar with his content at all.
Not at all.
Okay, so he has a podcast and he's interviewed some big names. Even though he was married, that was the foundation of his podcast, was saying that he started it based off of that. So it's kind of like the storyline as far as him writing a love letter looking for his wife. And so he bring a lot of marriage people, had conferences. He had like 500K subs. And so I think he's saying because of who he is, it's harder for him to find a wife because a lot of people know who he is. So he's just not the average person. I mean, he does have a little bit of clout. Now, I'm not taking away, I don't know the brother, but I'm just giving you a little bit more context as to why he's writing that letter. Like that was just what he started his podcast off of.
Yeah, I feel like he should just be having those conversations with women. Like, don't write like write letters to real women like that you like. Like, forget all this writing a letter on the internet to like that's weird. I don't know. It's strange. It's like a Dear Abby. Like I feel like I feel like he's like Heather Bradshaw. You feel me? Writing his little column, looking for my future wife. Like it's weird. That's weirdo shit. Like guys don't. I don't know dudes that do stuff like that. That's strange, bro. Like I just feel like go outside, bro. Talk to some women. If you feel like their intentions is bad, swerve them and keep it moving, keep it playing. Meet women. If you so popular, go on some dates and you'll find a wife if that's what you really want. But find the right woman first. Don't worry about the wife thing. Stop sounding so desperate, bro. Like I hope that's not the conversation he has with these women when he meets them. I hope he don't get in front of them at dinner and read a whole letter that maybe you're the future wife. It's like, bro, just sit down, have some dinner, meet some women. You'll find the lady that you get along with, and maybe she'll be the one. But relax, brother, or go back to the wife you left. If you want to be married so bad, why would you divorce if marriage is your dream? If that's what you wanted your whole life, what are you getting divorced for? Aren't the vows till death do us part? XYZ, XYZ. So fight it out, stick it out till death do you part, bro. That's what you want. So go back and get it. Go fight for that woman. I don't understand why he's on there saying that he divorced his wife, but then complaining that he wants to be married. It just seems entirely weird to me.
I think that is I think that is deeper than what you may be taking from it, Clout. I think with him writing, I think that's more so him writing to attract the woman, the type of woman it is that he wants. Being at that age, and especially if he is divorced, I can only assume, as you stated, you know, the people at the church, their husband, wife passed, and then they immediately get remarried. I think that it's a different situation if he stepped out of that marriage, if he got out of that marriage. Clearly it wasn't continuing to work for him. So in my opinion, and I don't know anything about him, just from what I saw, and the only thing that I can take from it is that he's writing these love letters to manifest, to attract the exact type of woman it is that he wants, especially with him being at that age that he's at, so that he doesn't have to deal with the type of chicks that he doesn't want. You know what I'm saying? I think that it's easier for him to vet the type of woman or wife that he wants, rather than just going through a whole bunch of them to see, you know, which one works out for him.
But that's still a bad strategy. You want to know why? Because if a woman did decide that she wanted to take him for everything he's got, or she did want to deceive him, he giving her the playbook. He putting the whole playbook online of what he want, what he looking for. So she could go, great, I know exactly what mask to wear when I slide up in his life and take every dollar he got. So either way, it's a weak strategy.
So you prefer he go to your church and, you know, find the hoes in there and get one and go marry?
Nah, man. I'm saying bro needs to. I'm just saying bro needs to just date. Stop writing letters to the internet.
Clout, 61% in that demographic use online dating nowadays. You know that? Ages 30 to 49. I even looked up the stat. We're in a time where you have 1,000,001 dating sites and you can access more people in a broader area using online methods. True or not true?
Yeah.
So why would that be insane?
Well, I'm not saying he shouldn't go online. What I'm saying is, like, writing letters to the internet, like Dear Abby letters to the internet, like regularly, that's strange. Be normal. Go out to a bar. Go make a dating site profile. Get a Match.com profile. Hire a dating a matchmaker or something. Just do something normal.
Hey, Clout, you lost me right there. You said bar. Find your wife in a bar? No freaking way.
All right, whoa. When I say bar, I'm talking like a hotel bar or something like that. Somewhere like a classy bar, like somewhere someone his age would go to. Not like the guys in the 60s.
Real
No.
quick.
All right. I mean, I don't. I've been to some classy bars. I don't know where y'all get your drinks
Real
at. You know what I'm
quick.
saying? I don't know where
Real
y'all go,
quick.
but you know what I'm saying.
What are you talking?
I like to sip
I've been in a
distinguished
lot of
drinks. I
classy
sip old
bars,
fashions.
and
You understand what I'm
guess
saying?
what? There's a lot of ladies that be out there working at those classy bars.
Bruh, I'm not saying that's the only place to go. Y'all doing semantics. Y'all getting too serious, bro. All I'm saying is go outside, be a normal dude. That's it. Writing letters to a fictional woman on the internet is weird. Date like a normal guy, and that's it. Stop crying to the internet about you looking for a wife, bro. Just date. Just be normal.
Let's get back to
That's
it. I
it.
gave you a stat that you could look up. 61% of that demographic, that age 30 to 49, are online looking for dates because they have greater accessibility to a broader audience, and you're actually saying it's weird.
Profile on Match.com. He can make a profile on eHarmony. I don't care which one he chooses.
But
I
you
don't care.
prefer I don't care. You prefer he go to his locale where he has that water, that pond that he's in obviously didn't work.
I
He's
don't
also
care.
a person of notoriety, so it's actually harder for you to find somebody.
You know what people used to do when the pool around them was dry? They traveled. That's it. It's simple. Use all that notoriety you have in the bread you're getting from your podcast. Travel a little bit and meet new people. It's not that complicated.
But what if he did all of those things?
He need to keep doing it until he find what he's looking for. But I'm just saying all is right, and I'm talking about specifically the blog posts and blogging weekly. I'm looking for my wife. That's weirdo. That's strange. That's it. That's the only thing I'm talking about. I'm not anything else that y'all focused on. Y'all focused on the wrong thing. That's the thing that's weird to me. Stop reading into other shit. It's that thing that's weird.
Well, no,
that's it.
I get your point.
I'm talking about directly with the writing thing. I think that's just him being intentional about what it is that he wants.
Okay, Clout, real quick.
Intentional is action.
Okay.
Not
He is
chatting.
taking
Not being on
not
being over here
he's
crying
actually
about how he
taking
feels
action
incomplete.
that you're saying is weird and you don't like. So if you're his friend, you're a bad friend.
How would it be a bad friend? I just told you why that strategy is a bad strategy. Telling women online publicly everything that you want on a week-to-week basis is a bad strategy because you're giving someone the ability to take advantage of you because they know exactly what mask to wear when they approach you. So no matter how you slice it, it's a bad strategy, period. It's not smart.
If you're 50 plus years old and you can't tell somebody wearing a mask, then you know what I'm saying there's something wrong with that.
Okay,
it's not about being able to tell somebody wearing a mask. If I tell you how to game me, if I tell you, hey, you know, I like walks on the park on Friday. Every Friday I go to this beach and I did it. You know exactly what to do to seduce me and take advantage of me. If that's your goal, that's common sense.
I'm using your examples. You gave poor examples as for him looking for love just a minute ago. Did you not?
I used the same examples you used. You said people date online. I said I have no problem with that.
A bar. I didn't make any examples.
A bar. That's why I said y'all focus on semantics. A bar is just one example of being outside. He could go to a restaurant if he wants. He could go to a jazz club. He could go to church. He could take a walk on the beach. All I'm saying is go outside and be normal. Socialize in a normal way, publicly. Y'all focused on bar. The venue doesn't matter. Okay, so please get your mind off of bar. Expand your mind, people. I'm telling the man to socialize in public. That's it.
I will take it back and I'll go back to my original premise. Today's normal is online dating, is it not?
That's not online dating what he's doing. That's blogging.
When you're on Christian Mingle, you can use word semantics if you want. When you're on them sites, what are you actually doing? Are you not blogging?
You're on a site that's for the purpose of dating. So it's not desperate and it's not extra. Why? Because that is the proper venue for it. But to just have a whole podcast where you're writing Ciara letters is weird. That's it. I don't get what about that. Y'all not understanding. We're so hard to conceive about that. No, you can ask me 30 different questions. I'm gonna say the same thing. That's weird. That's the only thing I'm saying is weird. Like, what are y'all not getting? I'm confused.
All right, we gotta get some.
You ask it differently, my answer is gonna be the same, brother. It's weird.
Quick, I'm gonna agree with you. You're confused. I digress.
Cute.
All right, let's go ahead and get Shannon there.
Y'all be fighting.
Niggas be slow. Y'all asking the same damn question. Like, bro, like I said what I said. It is what it is. Like, don't why ask me? Well, Clout. Well, do you not know that people date online? Of course I know that, but that means nothing to what I said. He could date online. He could date however the fuck he want. All I'm saying is, writing these Ciara's prayers online. That's weird. Period. I don't know what else y'all are reading into that. Like, I didn't say anything except that the Ciara prayers is weird. Leave that to the
No,
women.
you
Go on the
actually said
dating site
more.
if you
Not
want
to
to.
cut you
Go
off, Shannon. You
outside.
actually said
That's it,
more.
bro.
You
That's
added
it.
context that asked for why it's weird and what you feel that he should do because you don't like how
And
he
when I
is
answered
running
you, it
his
wasn't enough
race.
for you. I told you he needs to go outside and date like a normal person. I said it 6
So
times.
he's
How
not
many more times
normal.
I gotta say it?
Let's get
Dating
back to Shannon.
online is not today's normal.
Let's get back to
It
Shannon.
don't matter. He could go out. Yo, bro. Bruh.
Go ahead,
Like,
Shannon.
McCann, dog.
Bruh.
Brian's no good, dog. Man, McCann deal with him, dog.
Rewind it. Oh man. Latieres Whitfield says single season brings unrest to him. Single season. Is that the season that we're in right now? I know there's a cuffing season. I didn't know that. Okay, listen, relationships are the goal. And for you brothers that have a nice, soft, sweet smelling woman laying next to you tonight after we end this podcast, oh man, shout out to you guys. Nice, feminine, soft woman.
Ow.
That you get to get up and spoon behind. I know y'all thinking about it right now. But being single does not bring me unrest. Shout out to you married brothers, but it's only a few of us up here that's single. And let me tell you, it doesn't bring me unrest because unrest is picking the wrong one. And I am not interested in picking I'm not interested in picking the harmless snake in a pack of venomous snakes. I can't tell the difference, man. You got you got garden snakes in a pack of fucking venomous king cobras, and they all look alike. And the thing for me is I've been on both sides of the mountain. And let me tell you guys, I know that Latieres, he has his writing letters and he's feeling sad and he's lonely and whatnot. But let me tell you, man, the single side is much more comforting than the other side with the wrong chick. That's why I really envy you brothers that got you a solid woman, man. I really do. And I believe there's a lot of solid women out there. It's just that it's hard for me to discern the difference between them and them venomous snakes. And so with knowing that it's hard to determine that and finding myself exerting a lot of energy and a lot of my time, giving a lot of my attention just to turn around and get bit later because I have a bad picker, because I'm not good at determining those red flags, or I see the red flags and I know it's a red flag, but that, she get real good head. I'm fine with the single side until I see something that is just overwhelmingly clear that is a safe snake to deal with. So I won't be writing no letters like he is. Not me. I'm okay being over here on this side of the mountain where I know that all of my decisions and all of my mistakes are mine. That's all I got.
All right. Go ahead, man.
Shit, what Shan said. I mean, straight up. So I'm single. I've never been married. I've never been close to getting married. I haven't been in a position to where I feel like I need to get a ring for somebody or gotten to that point in my life yet. Kind of what Cloud was saying. I'm not, the Sierra prayers and stuff. That's a little much for me. That was a lot. But at the same time, I do understand that if you're a master manifestor and whatnot, you write down your goals. You write down what you're trying to manifest. Um, when you're in the beginning of the year, you're trying to get your goals together, and you get your vision boards. You write that down as well. So I understand that he's trying to manifest a wife, and he's trying to put in those good qualities that he's looking for, that he wants in a wife. So I get it. I understand that. And I know Clout was saying dude needs to get a dating profile or whatever, but I mean, at the same time, if I remember correctly, Lapeef, you mentioned that dude's got like 500K subs or something like that. So it sounds like he got a big ass pool himself from his own following that he might be trying to fish in. You know what I'm saying? And reel in some Christian mingle or whatever out of his pond or his pool or his little ocean he's got over there with 500,000 subs. So that's the only thing that makes sense to me of why he'll be writing Sierra prayers and whatnot. But for me personally, I'm not writing that. I'm not writing that down. And I'm not writing that down for public consumption in any way. I can write that down, put it under a mattress, and then if you exude those principles and all that, then that's a whole nother deal. Then I can just check it off the list over time as we're dating. Yeah, but single season, it's definitely coming up right now. Usually happens around springtime, going into the summer. Girls got their hot girl summer going on. You got city boys summer. And it goes from probably around like end of April, beginning of May, all the way through September is when it starts to end after Labor Day and all that. That's when, the single season stops pretty much or slows down. And then cuffing season starts coming up towards the end of October. So that normally happens because it's right before the holidays and all that kind of stuff. So everybody that didn't know, that's how it goes. So if you're single, you're trying to get cuffed up, you better find who you're looking for before Halloween, because after that, it ain't happening. So, and then you secure somebody for the winter so you can cuddle up with and stay warm and, all that stuff and get all comfy and whatnot through the winter holidays. Someone you can bring home to your parents and whatnot. I'm talking about the ladies. They like to bring somebody home and all that for Thanksgiving, Christmas, and then have somebody for Valentine's. So that's typically how the schedule works. But I'm very, very, very confident and comfortable in my singleness, because I don't draw, I don't feel as though I need somebody else to complete me in that aspect. It'll be great to have somebody to complement what I have going on and add to what I got going on. But that's a rigorous task. And I'm up for the task, but I've dated quite a bit in my time, and for someone that wants to be Mrs. Madden, you're gonna have to have some patience. It's gonna take some time because that's a rigorous process, like I said. So it's not something I'm just gonna give away very easily and frivolously. It's something that's definitely earned, and it's something that's definitely has to be with the right person, which is why it's gonna take time. For me, like kind of what Shan was saying, I gotta make sure that you're the snake that's not full of venom. You know what I'm saying? So they're all snakes. You just gotta figure out which one is defanged or which one is still full of venom. So you gotta figure out which one's not gonna bite you, which one's not gonna, give you a heart attack. So you have to literally take that time to learn somebody, get past what Nelson was talking about, get to know somebody past their that masking phase, that phase when you're being their representative and whatnot. Get past those 3 months, get past that time, when they get past the best version of them, till you get to the real them, and you get to really see, are they really, doing things out of the goodness of their heart? Are they really doing things because they're just that kind of a person? Or, they wiping, crust out your eyes and stuff out your beard? Are they doing that because they know that's your love language? Are they doing that because that's just what they naturally do with that feminine energy? I mean, there's a lot of things you got to figure out, when it comes to wanting to looking for a wife and for someone to be my wife. So yeah, it's definitely a process, and I'm very comfortable and confident in this space of singleness because I don't want to have to do it again. I'm gonna do it once, and I'm gonna do it right if that's what I'm gonna do. So that's where I stand.
Real quick before we keep digging in, I just wanted to kind of go in on what we got going on, because I know a lot of people aren't really familiar with this gentleman's podcast, right? So he's the dude that covered Derek Jackson's wife, when he got caught cheating and all of that. He interviews a lot of people about relationships and stuff. I think we're taking it very literally, right? The dude is not just sitting there writing letters every week, hoping he's going to get a wifey. That's his sentiment. It's almost like he's adding a bit of his personal life into it just to kind of go with the narrative of what he's doing. It's not like he's literally just begging for a wife every week. That's not really his sentiment. He's just kind of adding a bit of his personal life to it, right? Just so you can kind of be like, okay, it's relatable. Okay, I see. I'll come through this. I'll be on this journey with you. So the idea of his podcast is to kind of get to the root of what the problems are in relationships, right? And he's going through this journey with you. So that's all that is. That's just him sharing part of his world, but he's not literally desperately begging for women on the internet. I think that's where we're kind of misunderstanding. It does come off as a bit weird. And if that's what he were actually doing, then I'd be like, yeah, that's kind of weird as hell, like Clout said. And if you don't watch it and you don't get it and you don't really dig his personality, and I could see why you would feel like that. It's not because that is out of the ordinary, but those who watch it know it's not really that deep. And as far as the marriage, if you did it wrong, right, and you are divorced now, people know it's close to 70% of the time that you're going to fail. So if you're a bit apprehensive or reluctant to get married to just anybody, and you're really, really taking your time and being very careful about it, that's not a bad thing.
Yeah. Hey, I'll say too, and something that you had said earlier, Trev. I don't think that marriage is or should be solely based off of just being in love, because at some point, you know what I'm saying, the two aren't going to. There's going to be moments where, you know what I'm saying, you're going to clash, and it's going to take more than love to get you through it, right? And then on top of whatever else comes along with marriage. The second part as well, although it is what he's doing, or what it is that we're assuming that he's doing as far as with writing love letters to his future wife, even though that's different from what we normally see, I personally don't think that is anything wrong with it, because if that's the case, he's literally just journaling what it is that he wants. And there was people in the comments saying that, well, it hasn't worked yet, so clearly it doesn't work or whatever. Just as you stated, marriage isn't something that you just jump into. I think a big reason of why the divorce rate is what it is now is because people get married for the wrong reasons. I know a shit ton of guys that literally got married for the wrong reasons, because they got pressured into it, because they got caught cheating, and now they trying to save the relationship. People get married for goofy reasons, much rather than it being a solid relationship where the two of you love each other and you're both beneficial to each other. So I think that we're in a current time where the narratives of marriage is watered down, and people are just jumping in and out of it, you know what I'm saying, just because. But although what he's doing may seem different, I don't think that is necessarily anything wrong with what he's doing. I think more people should probably even do it, especially if you feel like this piss in a dating pool, or you find the person that you want to be with. If you want to be married, that's him just being intentional on his own desires.
All right, let's go ahead and get Marcus and Nelson in there.
Could you repeat the question?
I was just in response to the video. Single season brings unrest to me.
I don't know. So I remember when Shaq was kind of talking about this before, when he was saying like how it felt to come home without in a big house without all the kids. I would assume if I was like to be by myself in the house, it would feel incomplete. But that's because I'm just so used to so many people being here. There are some men who really just like being single, like, and those men exist, right? I think I don't know the numbers or nothing, but some of them are happy, content, and enjoy the life that they live. From what they, especially the ones who say like all the married men, the simps, and all that stuff online. So I'm assuming that they really enjoy that life. What Shan said, it hit home, because I was thinking about what he said about the picker, and I'm like brainstorming. Do you know any men that have similar personality, like that you could be like, man, me and him are real similar, that's married? I can't hear you.
You talking to Shane?
Like,
who's
I
you
think
asking?
life exists. I was trying to ask, do you know any men with similar personality, like a similar personality to you that's married? Or you could be like, yeah, me and him, we kind of, yeah. Damn. Okay. Because what I was gonna say is, maybe if he happy, maybe, because I think patterns exist in life, right? And there are people who kind of A alike, B alike for comparison matches. They may not look exactly the same, but a type of, like, my personality trait with somebody that has the similar personality trait would need the same type of wife that I have. Like my personality with my friend I was talking about earlier's wife personality, it would absolutely not work. Where she demeaning and demanding and da. But for him, that personality works. So I was thinking maybe if you knew somebody that had a similar personality trait and they kind of had a wife, maybe that could give like a diagram to kind of sift through some of the female, the females that's out here, to be like, you know what, she kind of reminds me of so and so, and then from there it could further the process. But that was just a random brainstorming thought. I don't know if that is helpful at all. Anyway, it's not. All right. Well, it's worth a shot.
I want to add one thing, man, about what the guy was saying too. It was like why I reacted, which I'm glad that that's not the premise of his show, but why I also reacted like that is that to me it's kind of sad when I hear these guys that sound almost like without a particular woman in their life, like they're hopeless, almost like they almost sound like their life has no purpose without it. You know what I mean? I feel like that's what sounds pathetic to me. It's like, I think it's amazing to have a woman in your life, and a woman adds a lot to your life. And I'm sure marriage with the right woman adds a lot to your life. But there's a lot of men that have this very depressing undertone where they make it seem like, damn, well, if what happens if you don't find it, bro? Like you're gonna be sad, you're gonna be unhappy, like because that seems to be the only reason he's like living for. Like that's what he's focused on. It's like, I feel like that's more something that will come with you living your life the way you're supposed to live it, by you fulfilling your purpose. The right woman will come along. I don't think finding the right woman should be the purpose. You know what I mean? That seems like a kind of pathetic thing to me.
And here's another, because I'm a conspiracy theorist. He might just be fronting because he got in an argument with his girl the night before. He knows she watching. Niggas will do some shit.
He the villain, Shan. He the villain.
Yeah, he probably a villain, slick, manipulative motherfucker, and he know that he was going live, and he know his girl watching, but they had a fight last night, and he need to say some shit. So when she hear him say that, he really like, yeah, I know she gonna catch that broadcast. And
Right,
then
right.
hang
See, he
up
said he
and
don't
be
do
all up,
girlfriends. That don't
be
mean he ain't
back in
got
them
hoes.
gut tomorrow night. Shit. That might be he might be playing chess, man. We over here trying to analyze what he got going on. This motherfucker over here working this chick that he's fighting with in the hotel last night. We don't know.
She ain't hitting him with that cynical shit right there.
He said he don't do girlfriends. He said he don't do girlfriends. That don't mean he don't got
He
hoes.
did say that. Facts.
He would
definitely
be a
say
fuck
that.
buddy. You know, yeah, maybe she's not a girlfriend, but she a fuck buddy, and he wants some more pussy, and she's like, no, and he's like, well, let me say something when I go live. She'll watch.
So yeah, so when I heard that if he came to my office, my hypothesis on what's going on with him is that he has an intense fear of making the wrong choice. It's evident inside that same interview, he described a relationship that he was in that went wrong, and he talked about it in terms of he was with a woman that was very clingy, that seemed to be a little bit insecure. She was worried whenever he would advance inside of his career, worried that she was going to get left behind, worried if he was out too long, worried about not being next to him all the time. So he made sacrifices to be with her. He felt like he had to dial back what he wanted inside his career in order to be able to successfully be in this relationship. So he ends up breaking off of that relationship in pursuit of the career, and now he's hitting like the pinnacle of his career. He's got everything going on for him, but now the relationship element is missing. It's almost as if he doesn't know what he truly wants or what is truly the most important to him. You even heard it when he did that Danae Jackson and Derek Jackson interview. The way he did that, and he was listening to both of their stories and giving opinion, it was very much somebody that is straddled on the fence. It wasn't this I'm being impartial and just being non-biased. It was almost as if I don't know what the right choice is. I don't know what is right. I don't know what's more important. So he sounds like somebody that's overall having analysis paralysis. He's got a bunch of I'm sure he's got a bunch of women that are interested in him, but he's so dead set on making the perfect decision, making the wife that hits all of the check boxes that allows him to continue being inside his career and not have to give up anything in that area or not have to make any sacrifices in that area, and a woman that looks the best, that thinks just like he does, that does everything exactly perfectly, and he's afraid to make a mistake and choose the wrong person again. That's everything that I get from him,
Nelson. So that's what I kind of was
healthy.
No.
So Nelson, that's kind of what I was getting at when I was trying to figure out a formula. Because say he has a super ambitious personality, he would probably need somebody like, I don't know, Grant Cardone's type of wife, right? Where she sees her mission as just pushing him, and all she wants to do is be the person that propels him to the next level, because that's what he really, really wants to do. So he would have to find somebody with a character trait. Let's say the personality was not concerned with being the center of attention at all, wanting to stay a sufficient, like they act, because there's women who take real pride, like my wife's like this, who take real pride in giving and being supportive. Like they take the same amount of pride that somebody might take for being an attention seeker as not being an attention seeker, but just being in the background and really like holding you down. So he might need somebody that's like that's not needy, that doesn't cling to him like you were saying and feel lost without him, so she could busy herself with things to help further the mission, and she buys in with the mission so they could work together and keep it pushing. But I really think it's not that many personality types out here, and I think that you just got to find a subgroup of the personality trait that you like with the attraction level that you're okay with, and then you can make it work from there. But I don't think everyone classifies people the right way, right? Because somebody might be beautiful, but their personality traits fit in a box that's really not compatible. But like Shan said, we'll make it work because she look good or the head is fire.
Mm-hmm.
But if we pick for the personality trait, then the attractiveness, attractiveness, then the personality, either way. But those two things got to be in line before you move forward with the relationship. Then you can move forward on a good note. That's kind of what I was trying to get at. I don't think I touched it.
But Marcus, a lot of us are not even
point,
self-aware enough. A lot of
That's
us are not
on
even
point.
self-aware enough to understand what it is that we would need in the first place. So we might think that this is what we're going to need to make us happy, but we have no idea of what it is that we actually need in our life to be our other half. If we're not self-aware enough, then we won't even know what to look for. We could be thinking, going into it in good faith, thinking that we're looking for someone that will complement us or our personality, right? But because we are not self-aware, we will continue to look for the things that looks like it will fit, but just won't.
And so real quick, Nelson, if I can say this real quick. So with the approach that he's taken, with the history it is that with his background that we're aware of, he's divorced. He's a older gentleman. You know, I think I'm assuming he's in his 50s, maybe. Him journaling.
I think he said 46.
46. He's 46. He's essentially journaling what it is that he wants. Do you believe that he will or he won't find the person that he's looking for by taking the approach that he's doing?
That's hard to say, because if he gets to the part in his journaling where he looks inward more, to where it's more what are you actually looking for and why are you looking for it, that's got to be really important to him, because he's never really stated, like, he said something about in his relationship that he felt, I think he said something like he felt like something was missing, and he felt almost underachieved because he's not inside of a relationship. And so since he feels like he hasn't achieved, it's like he has some sort of picture in his mind or expectation that everything in his life he really has to succeed at. He has to do well in every area of his life. Where is that even coming from? And where is that image of perfection? Like, where did that originate for him? So that way he can, because that's a destructive mindset for him, to believe that he has to make the correct choice every single time. That's what paralyzes you. So if he can get out of that mindset and stop saying, I'm looking for this in a woman, I'm looking for this in a woman, and turn inward and say, why is this quality that I'm looking for in a person, why is it important to me, and what do I feel like is missing in my life? It'll make it easier for him to identify what is actually important to him.
I think that's perfect, because you can't just get in a relationship to check a box, and it really sounds like that's what he's trying to do. I think he's spot on with that.
Yeah, he's got too many boxes that he's trying to check, and he don't even know why he's checking those boxes.
Yeah. If you was to guess what you would, something from like a child,
it was probably told what he was supposed to do. That's what he was taught was right. He's spiritual, and in the Bible it talks so much about how important marriage is, right? So yeah, I think that is where it's all based.
But there's no right decision in marriage. Precious put up a good post that JR started with, and it was like a man that finds a wife has found a good thing and has obtained favor from the Lord. I don't remember seeing scriptures that say there is a perfect woman out there for you. You have to choose, you have to pray about it and make sure that you get the one that I created that is just for you. So his Christian beliefs, if he's not even analyzing how he's even looking at his spirituality and his walk with God, like ultimately when we think about our purpose, our only purpose in life is to bring glory to God. So he's given us different gifts and different things that are passionate to us, but ultimately the expectation or our goal should be to bring glory to him. A wife is supposed to come along and support us in doing that. So I don't know what exactly he believes is his, what is his other, I guess, his alternative purpose in life, but he just seems like he's he seems like he's really lost in trying to find out what is his purpose in pleasing God, or his purpose in life.
I would say this: a lot of there's a lot of men who aren't married, right? What's the percentage of it? About half of us, right? About, what do they say? About 54%, something like that. No, that aren't married. So it's not like it's, even if it's, I know it's somewhere within the range, right? So it's not absurd for a man his age, and I'm sure it lowers a little bit as you get older, the percentage. But so it's not absurd that he's not married now. I definitely understand why he's taking his time, right? He might be, just the way he was talking, he might be waiting on a green light from God, right? There are some people who feel like, no, this isn't what my spirit was led to, and he'd be like, okay, God, I'll be patient. So when you take yourself out of the equation like that because of your faith, that's another thing, and whether you believe it or not, it's a thing to be respected. Right, that's his faith, and there's no way, just from how he's talking. Right, I grew up in the church. I'm telling you that he is going to wait for a green light from God. That's just how that goes for people who speak like that usually, right? I would strongly believe that. Okay, so if he didn't get a green light from God, if he's trying and he's like, okay, I'm going to wait for God to lead me, that kind of takes away a lot of what it is that we do as men to get what it is that we want, particularly in women, right? All that aggression, all of us to go get it, all of us to go hunt. It's a different philosophy. Now you're thinking that God is going to send me the woman who I am worthy of and who is worthy of me, right? Who's going to be my match. So it's a different frame of mind, right? If we go back to the Sierra's prayer, Sierra begged God to send her a man, and maybe that's what happened, right? Maybe that's what happened. So it's just about thinking just where his frame of mind is. And he has a lot of other things going on in his life. Running a podcast is demanding as hell. Jay, I'll tell you, it's demanding as hell. And it's going to be a strain on your personal life, especially to be successful, right? Between all of those factors, the limited amount of time he has to date and to vet and everything else, he's given his life to everything. It's tough, right? And then his experience from before, there's a lot of different factors that we have to consider that would kind of make him, it would just make it harder for him to be able to be married like that. It's not that easy, especially after he went through it already, man. A lot of people, that's trauma, right?
What did he
Who
go
knows
through?
if he really addressed it, right? What did he go through? A divorce, right?
No, but the question is why? What happened? Why did he get a divorce? That's a huge. I
don't know. That is absolutely a huge part of the equation. But just, you know what happens to men when we divorce, right? Our children are ripped away from us. Our financial situation is destroyed. We have to try to put back the pieces together, right? We're financially bound to the woman who has no duty to us whatsoever anymore. That's tough to deal with. So for him to take that risk, which it is a great risk as a man, it's tough to put yourself in that vulnerable position again. So I could understand his sentiment, man. I understand, and a lot of people, when they run into trouble or they go through something that's very difficult in their lives, they turn to God, right? Sometimes it takes for something traumatic to happen. I don't know his entire history like that, right? I only know from what I've seen, what he's presented on the show. I've never did an investigation on the guy. But sometimes people wait for something to happen or something traumatic happens to them. People who you've never seen say a prayer in their life, never did anything like that. When trouble comes, when their children in trouble, if their mom is on their deathbed, something, they praying all of a sudden. They're a prayer warrior all of a sudden, right? So that's just what it is. He might be turning to God just because, I don't know. But I just want us to just kind of have an open perspective here to where we can say, all right, there might be something to this. It might be a good reason. It might be something valid that we can't see behind the scenes. And we have to understand why us as men need to protect ourselves. Women should too. But we damn sure have to, because we are at a great risk by giving our lives to a woman. If you want to do it the right way, you want to make an honest woman out of someone. But when he probably has been betrayed, you don't know what happened in that situation. Mm-hmm. And like I said earlier, he's this guy, man. I know some women who would eat him alive. I promise. They will wait for an opportunity. See, like that.
Keeping that in the same
what you gonna say, bro?
Framework, but keeping that in the same thinking of, if he's still doing all of this under God, with the exception of infidelity, God didn't give him the green light to get divorced. So what was going on for him?
What if she divorced him? Sometimes women will make your life a living hell. If she don't want you no more, and she wants your pocket instead, she is going to make it so you divorce.
Trey, let me ask
It
you a question,
it might have been infidelity. Go ahead.
Are you able to? Because I do this a lot, and it's like you'll meet couples, and you could kind of see it's not going to work before they know it's not going to work. Because it's things that's obvious.
Absolutely.
And usually you can't tell the guy because he's in love and he'll be upset with you for trying to explain what the issue is. Like, do you think that's...
No, absolutely. You can tell. Listen, I definitely understand where you're going with it, but I take it so far that I don't introduce certain people to certain people because I already know what their chemistry is going to be like, right? So I do that a lot. I profile people a lot, right? Just from experience and talking to thousands of people, and people are very open and honest with me because I'm not going to judge, for one. Right. I'm not going to ever throw anything in your face. So fortunately, I'm in a position where I get a lot of information from people, and I just kind of analyze and sit back and see what we can do with that. And it's just like anything else. Just like people take polling, you get sample sizes, and the more you have, the more accurate you are. And I know certain people just shouldn't be together, right? And it's not going to work because you're going to have to work way too hard to be with this person. And I always tell people, like Shannon will tell you, just be yourself. It's so damn easy. It's so damn easy to not put on a front, and you're not going to disappoint anyone. If they don't mess with you, they won't. But you'll be surprised when you just start being open about things up front. Whatever it is that you do, if you a slob, go ahead and be a slob, man. Off rip. They're going to accept it or not. But the worst thing that you can try to do is fraud for somebody. That's the worst. Don't ever fraud for nobody, and don't ever try to change nobody. Meet people. Go ahead in good faith. Be upfront about it. Put everything on the table, and you'll be surprised with the results you'll get. You're probably going to actually find a person who likes you for you, and it's easy as hell to be you.
The hard part is the confidence in doing it, right? Like, it's like going to the other side of the mountain. It's beautiful on the other side, but convincing people to climb up the mountain and go over there is the really hard part of it.
I mean, but you'll be at the point of where you won't even have the desire to convince them. You know what I'm saying? It'll just be you marching over to that other side of the mountain, and the people that want to follow you is going to go.
It's not that easy for a lot of people. They struggle with self-esteem. They struggle with feeling like they're not worthy. They struggle with feeling like the person that they are isn't enough. They struggle with feeling like they have to impress this person in order to have a realistic shot. They struggle with all types of things. So for them to just get up and walk over there, it's going to require some inner work in order to get to the point where they say, hey, this is who I am. I'm presenting this, and somebody is going to deal with this, or somebody is going to like this. I'm just going to present the best version of who I am without changing who I am. You know what I mean?
Well, no, I absolutely agree that it is work, but I think that the more that we tell people to do it, and not hinder them with the dialogue of saying, oh, it's going to be tough, or, it's a struggle, or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Those little things, especially if somebody's already self-conscious, is going to eat at them. So I think if you tell them, hey, if this is what you do, and they find that out along on their journey, you know what I'm saying? I think that they'll have more success in that, much rather than immediately shooting them down. We're giving them that.
Right. I think this goes back to, we have an ideological difference, because this furthers back to the racism conversation and just the general outlook. So I agree to disagree.
Yeah. All right, we got to go ahead and close this out, man. I know we're getting to that time. We only have one thing that came through, which Angela Swift, member 8 months, says, "Man equals many empowered nominees." Salute to you, Angela Swift. I know you've been pretty active in the chat. It's great discussion, gentlemen. Great discussion. I was looking at some of y'all faces. I see y'all just barely holding on here. Ain't saying no names, be mad.
Damn, say no names, huh?
Just a long blink, that's all. Just a long blink. I mean, periodically you'll be like, It's like going to a good sermon, huh? And get some good sleep when you're in the lecture or something.
Yeah, you got me.
B Man might be on the East Coast with me. It's 1:22 over here.
Not today, but yeah, it's 12:22. I'm in Houston right now.
Oh,
but
okay.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
I feel you. Yeah, it's still late. I got shit to do in the morning. So
All right,
well, shoot.
Go ahead. You about to say, Trey?
No, I was gonna ask when is a good time
nothing important.
When is a good time to tell somebody you don't think the person they with is gonna work?
Ooh, that depends on that person. Man.
Never.
Yeah, you gotta know the temperament of your friend.
It depends. Yeah,
like that's
I don't
that
think
is a case by case basis.
I don't think that you should have the authority to do that. I think if you're a true friend, you would allow them to find it out unless it's something detrimental to your friend, because nature has to run its course.
Yeah,
but the wrong woman will ruin your life. I would certainly consider that detrimental.
The first thing is detrimental. If it's something with DEFCON 5 where you got to pull that collar, like whoa, you understand?
Yeah, the other thing too, I don't know if I would lead with your opinion. I think you more so want to ask those right prying questions to get their thoughts on certain behaviors and certain problematic things that you've noticed, and just to see what their take on it is and their viewpoint of it. And then maybe you're like, okay, then you know how you need to proceed. You'll know if there's something you need to move forward with your concerns, or you need to backpedal. By asking those questions, it's gonna uncover by their reactions how you might need to move. But if it's really detrimental, like what Kenny's saying, I would definitely ask questions, but I wouldn't come with, I don't think this shit's gonna work because X, Y, and Z. Nobody wants to hear that shit. Nobody wants to hear that.
Here's the key thing. Pardon me. Here's the key thing that I see. It's 50-50. Suppose it works out. And she gets earshot of your attempt to divide them. That's not your friend no more.
No, I feel you. So it's not 50-50 though. Like when I know, that should be like 95 and the other 5 ain't coming to life yet.
That's kind of tough. I hear what you're saying, Marcus, but
I don't tell them. I'll just ask questions, but I be wanting to like tap them and be like, bro, XYZ, because this how you are and this how she is, it's never gonna work. But I know I can't say that. So the only thing I'm left doing is just sitting there with my fingers crossed, wishing I could jump in and fix it, but I can't fix it. Because really that's where it come from. I want to fix the whole thing.
You can't
all you can do is shine. Yeah, all you can do is shine a light on certain aspects, and that's really all you can do, and see how if they're catching your drift, if they recognize that as well, that you shined a little bit of light on it, then you see where that goes. But if they're still not catching it and they're not seeing a problem with it, man, you got to tread carefully, my boy. You got to tread real carefully.
One of my real
good, trust you.
The first day he met his girlfriend and we met up with him, she stormed out of the bar, and I told him, do not chase her. You chase her now, you're gonna be chasing her for the rest of your relationship. Sure enough, he looked at me and said, and walked off, chased her. And to this day, he got to work extra so he can make 180 to take care of her lifestyle. And that day in the bar played out on a larger scale throughout the entire relationship, and now it's extremely detrimental to him and it's pulling him apart. And I'm like, I wish I could have stopped this right then and there so I could have fixed this, because I knew this was going to happen. You know what I'm saying? That I know I can't do nothing. I'm really just venting right now because it's frustration from wanting to fix some shit that I can't fix.
Sometimes do got to experience what they got to experience.
Yeah, every man
they have to go through that path. Sometimes you got to hit a brick wall for you to really.
Some
see
people
the
hard
light.
head. They got to learn the way.
You got to. Sometimes you got to have the experience. So because he might come back around later on, and it might be a bad relationship, might not work out, whatever. But he learned lessons from it that made him better and stronger, and maybe set him up for the person he's really supposed to be with or what have you. So it's not really your path. Again, you can shed some light to some things, but tread carefully. I would tiptoe or even backpedal. And if he's still going that route, then he's got to figure out on his own. He has to. That is a path he has to walk.
Yeah, I had another friend end up getting himself killed in the same situation. Like, I just be sitting there like, bro, I want to stop this, but I can't stop it.
Yeah. Whenever I'm faced with a situation like that, with somebody that I'm close to, or even if I just meet somebody and they're telling me about their situation, I always share with them an experience that I had with a young gentleman that I watched grow up, and he was essentially unalived by his wife. And it was like, bro, if you seeing any issues up front that seems as if it's going to be life-threatening, like it shows you that she's extremely volatile, or she's giving you these red signs and people around you are seeing it and you ignoring it, don't do that, because you're literally putting your life on the line, so I imply it in some type of way, depending on how close it is that I am to him, and give some examples, but yeah, it's kind of it's a tricky thing where if you get too involved, you'll be the bad guy and they blow up in your face.
All right, we're gonna go ahead and close on that note, man. Good shit, Biz. Good questions, Marcus. Appreciate the expertise, Nelson. Thank you, Kenny. B. Madden, Trev, Shan, Ink, Clout. I think that's everybody. Hit that like button, man, on the way out, man. Appreciate y'all. Enjoy y'all night. Get y'all some sleep, man. Get y'all some sleep.